It's a lot of stuff going on, man. It's a lot of stuff. I just read that J.O. Pataya is still having legal issues with Dean Lonergan of DNL Promotions. For those that don't know, Dean Lonergan is who Top Rank co-promoted Pacquiao versus Horn with about 5 or 6 years ago, maybe longer. He was their point man in Australia for that show. And, a couple of years ago, Michael, what it do? A couple of years ago, Dean Lonergan and DNL Promotions, they were a well-to-do outfit. That was a couple of years ago. But very recently, they lost the Fox deal. So as you can imagine, if you're J.O. Pataya, and at least you think your contract is up, as you can imagine, what good is a promoter without a platform? What good is he? What service can he provide you? That's kind of what I see. And, there are a number of promoters out there that don't have major platforms behind them, smaller ones. And what tends to happen with those promoters is they loan the fighter out to major promoters that do have a network behind them. That's usually what you see, that smaller outfits, the ones you're less familiar with, much smaller than a Top Rank or a Matchroom or a Golden Boy, small outfits and local ones, what they do in those situations is they loan the fighters out and they collect a fee. But if you're the fighter and you believe that you're out of contract, you believe that, the term limit is reached or whatever it is, if you believe that, you want to be able to pursue another promotional deal with a major promoter with less hands in the cookie jar, because if you're with him and you're with them, that's just more people siphoning money out of your purses. So that's what's going on with Jay, and I'm surprised because a couple of weeks ago I did a video about it where the story was that he won his case and he was free to pursue other lucrative deals because he was done with DNL. But now Dean Lonergan is trying to sue him for approximately 1.3 or 1.6 million or whatever it is. And like I said, you can see why Dean Lonergan is doing that. He wants to stay in the conversation so that he can keep siphoning money from J.O. Pataya's purses, even if he himself doesn't have a platform for J.O. Pataya to fight on. Appreciate you, Mr. Ardor. You didn't have to do that, but you did it, and I appreciate it. That will be transformulated into beer money. Beer. There's a lot of boxing happening this weekend, and I will transform the proceeds of tonight's live into beer money for beer that I will drink in front of you as I watch boxing matches. Nah, but yeah, yo, I just hope that situation ends for Jay, because I view Jay as the most exciting cruiserweight champion at cruiserweight. It's J.O. Pataya, it's Lawrence Okoli, it's Badu Jack, who just signed a deal with Skills Challenge over there in Saudi Arabia. He signed a deal with them, and he's going to be fighting over there. With that much we knew already, that he would be based out of the Middle East moving forward, more or less. And they're looking at Noel Gavor. Those of you that saw, I think it was the 3rd season of the World Boxing Super Series, you'll remember Noel Gavor. He's a solid guy, pesky guy, difficult guy, good fighter, good cruiserweight, and stubborn. And, they're looking at that guy. And you bring him on board while he has that title. And, it's not to fight the Noel Gavors of the world. You know what I mean? It's not for that. The idea is to do some big fights, and the biggest fights that you could make for Badu Jack are the Arsene Goulamarian fight, the WBA champion, J.O. Pataya, IBF champion, Lawrence Okoli, WBO champion. The thing is that Lawrence is with Sky, Jay's situation is murky, so we don't know what he's free to do and what he isn't free to do. We don't know. So the most feasible fight to make for Badu Jack, now that he's with Skills Challenge and he is WBC champion, which I think counts for something. I understand that a lot of people, they didn't think much of Lunga Makabu, but it's not so much Lunga Makabu, it's that Badu Jack used to campaign at super middleweight, for God's sake. He held the title there. For those that don't remember, he held the WBC title there. If you look at his resume, he's fought a lot of great fighters. He's won some fights. He's lost some fights. But he fought a lot of really good fighters. And for him to now be up there at cruiserweight at his age, having beaten a champion that's younger than he is, and a champion who was, more or less a long reigning champion. Lunga Makabu didn't win the WBC title yesterday. He had it for a number of years. I think it was like 3, maybe 4, 3 or 4, around there, whatever. I think it reflects well on Badu Jack. And I've always liked Badu Jack's boxing. He's a smart fighter. He's a durable fighter, tough fighter. And that he's still out here at like 40 years old. I didn't think he was going to win that fight. I thought Lunga was going to stop him because I saw how Badu Jack looked against Popeye, that he didn't look good in that fight. He looked his age. But for him to pull it out and win and have a title today, that's dope. That's monumental. If he keeps this up, if he unifies titles with somebody at cruiserweight, he's going to have to enter the conversation of pound for pound. He is, because he is a multi-weight champion. Technically, he's a 3-division champion. I only say technically because in between that brief period when Andre Ward retired and all this different stuff, he was the full-fledged WBA champion, but it only lasted like, I think, a couple of weeks or a couple of days. So it's something funny about it. That's what I remember. At minimum, he is a 2-division champion, at minimum. And yeah, that counts for something because he didn't go up there and pick up a belt that nobody was holding. He beat a champion to be a champion. He is a 2-division champion. And as stated, if he can keep up this hot streak, because he's been fighting as a cruiserweight for maybe 4 or 5 fights now, if he could keep up that hot streak and keep winning and unify titles, yeah, you got to start talking about pound for pound, because it takes skill to do that. I think that's what's lost about pound for pound more often than not, that it's essentially a gauge of skill. What in the fighter's resume, what in their record accents their skills, because that's what pound for pound is about. And when you have a fighter who's like, 40, he's still out here winning titles in new divisions at a higher weight. Oh, yeah, he must be skilled, because not everybody can do that. There are young fighters that can't do that. When you think about the jump from light heavyweight to cruiserweight, what is that, 25 pounds? That's a good-sized jump. And some of those guys at cruiserweight, just a nose hair away from being heavyweights. It's big kids up there, big strong ones. And that he's up there right now, at his age doing this stuff, yeah, you got to give it to him. Now, I had a conversation with my man Jay Habib earlier today about the whole Showtime, DAZN, Benavidez, Canelo thing. And, I want to say this because I was basically piggybacking off of my man D-Styles. Shout out to D-Styles and the conversation that they had. And I just feel like this is one of those times, very few times, because Bieber's usually a very objective guy from what I've seen. But I do feel that he's not being objective here. He tried to draw certain parallels between DAZN's losses and Showtime's losses. When DAZN was starting up, yes, there were losses, big ones. But if you understand this stuff, you know that there are always going to be losses in the beginning. In order to make an omelet, you got to crack a couple of eggs. Since then, Len Blavatnik decided to recapitalize based on the sales projections of this year, that their subscribers are growing. Last year, they became the largest streaming app for sports in all of Europe. And this is the stuff that people don't say. This is what you don't see on Boxing Scene, what you don't see on Bad Left Hook, what you're not going to hear Leonard Ellerby or Stefan Espinoza talk about, that since they debuted, they've only grown. They've only expanded their area of operations to something like 170 to 200 territories, whereas Showtime, comparatively, since 2018, when DAZN debuted in America, they've only grown since then. Their stable has gotten bigger. The names have gotten familiar. The fights are still great. Laura Woods is still great. Everybody's great. Tony Bellew, he gets nice haircuts. You got a day, the great green chair. Shout out to a day. Very happy to see that a YouTuber is doing as well as he's doing. They're doing great things over there at DAZN. They're wonderful people, amazing people. And Showtime, which is inferior, has only shrunk since then. Their numbers have only gotten smaller and smaller. Their subscribers are unsubscribing in droves, in waves. You have Rolly Romero versus Ismael Barroso, a 40-year-old journeyman who's already lost 3 fights and been knocked out in 2 of them. This is what passes for a main event on Showtime. This is what you're getting for your regular Showtime package. If the fight is halfway decent, oh, no, you got to pay more. You got to pay $80. You got to pay pay-per-view. And this is what I'm talking about, that when you think about what Showtime offers the consumer, it's not a lot. Jermall Charlo hasn't fought in 2 years. His brother, who I like, Jermell, undisputed champion, he hasn't fought in approximately a year. Errol Spence Jr., he hasn't fought in a year. Keith Thurman hasn't fought in a year. So outside of constantly having to pay for pay-per-views, which if you buy Showtime's pay-per-views, you will have already paid roughly $160 between the first and second quarter. The Davis versus Hector Garcia fight and the more recent David Benavidez versus Caleb Plant fight. Tack on this weekend's fight, it's another $80. That's another $80. You know? You ask yourself, what are you getting from your Showtime subscription? What are you getting exactly? Because it seems like you might as well just unsubscribe, save those monthly installments you're making, just save them, because the regular fights on Showtime, they're not actually very good. You know, they're not, the cards aren't, they're not. And what passes for a regular Showtime fight is Rolly Romero in the main event versus a 40-year-old journeyman for what is a vacant title. And I've already given my thoughts on that in the video I just uploaded, so I'm not going to delve too deep in the live because I'll just be repeating myself. I'm talking about quality control. I'm talking about, what are you paying for month to month? What are you paying for annually? Because it seems like the decent fights, the halfway decent fights, all those are hidden behind another paywall. They're hidden behind pay-per-view. That Benavidez versus Plant was not a bad fight per se. It's not that the fight is bad. It's that, should you pay $80 to see that when you're getting the same or better fights on regular ESPN by way of our good friends at Top Rank? You're getting the same or better fights by way of our good friends at DAZN. You know, ProBox puts on some pretty good shows too, pretty good fights. And you look at that and you say, well, wait a minute, why should I pay $80 to see that? That's $80. And that's not the only time this year you're going to charge me $80. That's the second time this year you charged me $80. You're about to do it for a third time this weekend. And this weekend, I can understand, you know, Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis, yeah, that's a pay-per-view. But Gervonta Davis versus Hector Garcia, no, that should not have been a pay-per-view. It shouldn't have been. No, Hector is a nobody. He was a nobody. Benavidez versus Plant, no, that's a regular interim fight. That's a regular fight. You could get a fight like that any old day of the week on ESPN. You get a fight like that. And this is what I'm talking about. Shout out to my man Jay. It was Rolly putting that title before. Now it's a certainty. Isn't this what I told you guys I was suspecting? They want to put that title in his hands. I'll let you use your imagination as to why. Well, I really would not be surprised if DAZN took over global sports in 10 years. We'll see. You know, that's very far into the future, but we'll see. And, oh yeah, Lawrence Okolie's advertisements play regularly on my channel. I'm not sure why, but hey, if Lawrence could get some money and I could get some money, everybody wins, you know? And you know, I was talking to Beeb earlier, and I was actually surprised how obtuse he was being about things, that you can't compare what's happening at Showtime to what's happening at DAZN because DAZN recapitalized to clear their debt on the premise that the projections moving forward were promising. You see what I mean? That they're only expanding on what they're doing, whereas Showtime is downsizing and limiting what they're doing and trying to focus on areas that drive subscriptions. Boxing not being one of them. He posted the same number I always tell you guys. Showtime has approximately 27 million subscribers. And the median number for a boxing match on Showtime is anywhere in between 100,000 to 200,000 viewers. Now, what percentage of 27 million is 100,000 to 200,000? What percentage of 27 million is that? And that accounts for less than 1%. What does that communicate? That the vast majority of subscribers Showtime has are not there for sports. They are there for story-based programming, like Golden Jackets or the Golden Girls or whatever the name of the show is called. You know, all those shows they got. That if they still have subscribers, they are not there for sports. Whereas DAZN's subscribers, those are all sports fans because DAZN is a sports app. So if you have 15 million subscribers in total, a number that is still growing. If you have 15 mil and counting, those are all sports fans. So the probability of a fight getting watched on DAZN is in fact higher than it is on Showtime because Showtime is not a sports network. They're not a sports network. The majority of people that are still subscribed to it are there for stories and dramas and soft porn. They are not there for sports. It's a simple equation you could do on a napkin. And I'm only saying that because I heard somebody say it in a movie and it sounded good. But it is true. It's a simple equation you could do on a napkin. 27 million subscribers versus 100 to 200,000. What percentage of the 27 million is 200,000? Less than 1%. And what did we hear Bob Backish and the Michael McCarthy guy, what did they say a couple of months ago? That anything that accounts for less than 10% of the overall viewership, oh, that's going on the back burner. We don't got time to worry about that. We trying to survive out here. You know what I mean? It's simple, man. It's not complicated. So, Beeb, what I'm trying to tell you, you know, if you watch this back, respectfully, because I still got mad respect for Beeb, we just don't agree on this, is that you comparing a company that's shrinking to a company that's growing, to a company that recapitalized, decided to recapitalize because their numbers are up and they're going up. If they weren't going up, then they wouldn't recapitalize in all likelihood. They just let this, you know, they just let sleeping dogs lie or whatever it is. They recapitalized for a reason. DAZN is giving you Shavkat Rakhimov versus Joe Cordina. That is a good and solid main event. Whereas a main event on regular Showtime, no pay-per-view, oh, that's Rolly Romero versus Ismael Barroso. A main event on regular Showtime is Sebastian Fundoria versus the Mendoza kid. That's the main event. That's what you get for on regular Showtime for your money. How are you trying to compare these two things? How? It's not the same. One company is shrinking, one company is growing. DAZN is the future, B. You need to understand that, yo. Gotta understand that. Canelo Alvarez does not belong on no nickel and dime premium cable network. No. If Benavidez want to be involved in big time boxing, all the lights, all the markets need to get his big forehead ass to DAZN. People don't watch Showtime. You know, I have that shit. I barely watch it. I don't even know why I'm paying for it. I'm this close to canceling it. I don't need to be subscribed to Showtime to buy those pay-per-views. Literally, I don't. And most of the fights that y'all do put on or that I would maybe watch is the pay-per-views. The other fights, a lot of the time, I don't even watch them shits. When Fundora got knocked out, I was watching ESPN. If it wasn't for Jay, I wouldn't have even known. I was watching ESPN. You know? I think a lot of people are sentimental. It's hard for them to see what was once an industry giant. I think it's hard for them to see the state of affairs as they are. But I've been telling you for a long time that what they were doing was not sustainable. For starters, boxing is a common man's sport. It's a common man's sport. Thus, you need to give the common man more access to it. And maybe the common man doesn't watch Showtime. Maybe he doesn't. The best place for sports is terrestrial networks or a sports network. That's the best place for sports. And, you know, for a while, Showtime got a leg up because they had Floyd. But those days have been over for a very long time now. You know, Floyd retired a while ago, you know. Glad to be of service. Appreciate you, Jay. You know. If you think about it, why is it that Floyd's exhibition matches, right? If Showtime is doing great and everything is okay, right? Why aren't Floyd's exhibition matches being bankrolled by Showtime? If there were even a demand for them, which there isn't, and if Showtime had the money, which they don't, but if they did, why wouldn't they be bankrolling them? Why not? Why is Floyd somewhere in the UK boxing a guy named Chalmers? Why is he saying that the tickets didn't sell the way that he wanted them to? You know? None of this is complex. Don't you think that the relationship that Floyd has had with Showtime, don't you think if they had the bread for him, they'd be the ones bankrolling his fights? If they had the bread. Don't you think that if there were a demand for Floyd to fight Don Moore, Chalmers, Hideki Matsui in Japan, don't you think if there were a demand for these things that Showtime would be involved? The reason they're not involved is because there is no demand. The reason Floyd's not on their platform is because they don't have no money for him. Not complicated, man. None of it is complicated. It's just being sentimental and stubborn. It's not complicated. You're not about to be absorbed by Paramount because of how well you're doing, you know? Belt tightening. Does that sound good to you? Belt tightening. Budget cuts. Layoffs. Show cancellations. Does that sound like they're doing good to you? And he pulled up actually the debt that they had in 2021. What he didn't pull up is that in 2022, last year, they became Europe's biggest sports app. Don't pull that up. You're pulling up intel from before Len Blavatnik, a good friend of mine, Russian oligarch like me. I'm just playing. Don't get me in trouble if the feds is listening. I'm just playing. I'm not from Russia. I'm from Germany. Ist das wahr? From Germany. He decided to recapitalize because things is looking good. Showtime's budget is shrinking because things is looking bad. It's not complicated. None of it is complicated. Paul versus Nate Diaz is bigger than Tank versus Garcia. Shout out to Jake Paul, right? A Capricorn, like me. I'm older, but I look younger. If you could believe that, I don't look younger than Jake Paul. Look at me. I'm much older than he is. I'm old enough to be his father, but but I look much younger. Kryptonian, right? And you know, Jake made a power move, and he's a smart kid. I believe that Jake's time at Showtime. Hey, shut up! I believe that Jake's time at Showtime hurt his momentum. I've said that before. That when he was on Triller, he was buzzing. You know, he knocked out Nate Robinson. He knocked out Ben Askren. He needed an aspirin after the knockout. His numbers was buzzing. He was buzzing. He goes to Showtime, and his momentum was stifled. It was stifled. Give me a second, man. Give me a second. Yeah, yo. He goes to Showtime, and his momentum, at least to me, looked like it was stifled by being on such a small and inferior platform whose consumer base was shrinking. You know, the whole time he was there, the two Tyrone Woodley fights, I don't put it on him. I put it on Showtime. I feel that going behind that paywall stifled his momentum. That's what I think. Now he's on a real platform for sports, a sports platform, DAZN, a great platform that I love and loves me. You know, give me all the good boxing matches. You see Sandy Ryan versus Marie Pierre Hugh. Scott Nicholson, she gonna do her thing. She gonna move. She gonna jab, southpaw stance. Gonna do the shit. Go see my man Smoking Joe Cordina. Smoke, Shalcott Rockamorphs. Getting good fights. People are complaining that the annual cost for a DAZN subscription is in excess of $200 for the year, right? They're complaining about that. But you're not complaining at all the pay-per-views on Showtime, which cost you more money annually on top of what you're paying for your subscription, which is roughly $120, $10 a month for 12 months, $120. Tack on the pay-per-views, $120. $80 for Davis versus Hector Garcia. Becomes $160 for Plant versus Benavidez. Becomes $240 for Davis versus Garcia. Again, whatever Spence is going to end up doing, that's $80. Whatever Wilder ends up doing, if he does anything else on Showtime, that's another $80. When David Benavidez comes back and he fights later on this year, that's another $80. That's what that is. By the time they're done, you will have spent close to $1,000 on their platform by the time they're done. But you telling me that a little 200 and change hurts you? No, I don't believe you. Here's what I think. You don't pay for DAZN, but you don't pay for Showtime either. Because if you did, you'd be saying what I just said. Are you fucking people crazy? You're crazy. Don't pay for shit. That's why your opinions don't count for shit. And mine does. Go to hot dog. Hebrew National. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yo. It's not complicated. I said it many times that I think that I felt like Jake's momentum was hurt going on that platform because that's just another paywall. It's a paywall behind a paywall. At a time when Americans are cutting the cord and they're not using cable as much as they used to, going on a premium cable network, that's not going to get you more exposure. You know how many times we said it, Drew, that this whole idea that fighting on Showtime is going to get you seen, that's a fucking myth, bro. That is a fucking
It is. And like you said, with Beeb is, I guess he's cool, but he's biased when it comes towards DAZN.
Yeah.
I've noticed that. Because the other day, Jules, on his live, he had that fucking clown checkmate boxing that gets sunned on Twitter. And they were talking about how AJ ducked Wilder, all this. I'm like, yo, you do know that 50 million was a scam because BT Sport was trying to get involved. And then I'm like, AJ Wilder turned down that 120 mil, and they're like, "Oh, that was a bad deal. That was a flat fee." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "I see what you guys are doing."
But it was wait. But see, let me address that. You saying that deal was a bad deal, right? But getting the shit beat out of you for less money, that was a better deal.
Exactly. And where he was being disingenuous with your conversation today was like, bro, you're comparing a company that's been in business for 40 plus years to a startup that's capitalizing and getting into business and acquiring rights. Okay, I'll take that. That's why I tweeted, Jules, in any profession, whether you're an athlete or you're an executive, when you exceed the expectations of your bosses or your contract, you get an extension and you get more money.
Hold on, this is the funny thing. And this is why these conversations are better had in real time. Those losses that DAZN suffered, that was in buying sports rights. That's what those were. Those were calculated losses, you know?
They weren't operational losses.
That's what I'm saying.
They were risks they were willing to take.
Yeah, because they were buying sports rights to shit like snooker and Bundesliga, that German soccer league. That's what those losses were. It wasn't just, y'all just hemorrhaging money on boxing. Bro, most of those losses don't even got nothing to do with boxing.
Right, they make it seem like they make it seem like Eddie Hearn spent $900 million on boxing and lost it all.
Eddie Hearn is the CEO of DAZN, apparently.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, Jules. Beeb was on that bullshit, bro. We went at it for like 2 hours. No, like 4 hours. I just asked him a simple question. If David wanted that fight, he would have to go to DAZN. Yes or no? Would he go to DAZN? Yes or no? And he couldn't even answer me.
Because because this is the shit. They want it to be okay. See, it's like, I'm gonna say this. It's some petty shit. They want to be able to talk shit while they can, and that moment is coming. It's making them nervous that, bro, if Canelo were to say, I don't know what he's going to say, but I know that DAZN will make a play for the fight. If I don't know nothing else, I know that if that fight comes up, they're going to make a play for it. They are. It'll be up to Canelo where he wants to go. If he wants to go to Showtime, he goes to Showtime. No fuss, no muss. He'll beat David over there because David ain't shit. And it's going to take for you to see that. Like always, you don't want to listen. It's going to take for you to see that he ain't shit. You just got duped. You got fooled. And your pride is involved now. You don't want to feel like you got fooled. But look, he went in there with the guy, couldn't knock him out. Oh, he's holding. But I thought you were a monster.
Hey, Jules, be careful, man. You're talking about Mirage's man. He may come get you, dude.
Well, shit, he could do about it.
I mean, Joe, it's funny. It's like the only reason that you know, somebody pointed this out on Twitter. I wish I knew his name. Shout out to him. The only reason that, you know, he's being called a Mexican monster is because Mike Tyson called him that shit. If that hadn't happened, bruh.
Well, that's the other shit that, look, I'm a Mike Tyson fanboy. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
When Mike Tyson picked Manny Pacquiao to beat Floyd, who did I pick?
Floyd.
This generation is weird to me. They're weird to me What you think that because Mike said it, I'm going to change? No, I'm not. I picked Floyd to win. Which one of us was right in the end? Me or Mike?
Hello.
Hello.
So you see, even like the greats, they get it wrong. Ain't no shame in that.
Of course. And I'm not knocking him. I'm just telling you that at the end of the day, I know what I see. That kid is a hype job. Period. Yeah, he's a hype job, bro. Yeah, and y'all falling for it. You know, some people know that they're just towing the company line because that's their stake in it, towing the PBC line. But other people, they are genuinely fooled. I'm like, bro, you know why you don't go to light heavyweight like Callum? Because you get fucking killed up there. That's why you.
And that's how I know they're disingenuous, Jules. Because we listened, like I sent you those links. The fucking CFO said we're on a quarter by quarter review. The budget gets smaller each performance indicator at the end of every quarter. And when I tell Beebs that, he's like, "Well, I'm just talking about this one fight." I'm like, "There's not going to be no if they're not performing at the end of this next quarter, they might not have no money for the next round of schedules."
What I'm saying is he talking like we know for sure that Showtime is going to be in boxing next year. We don't, and I'm not being funny. I'm not even being petty when I say that. I'm being dead ass. I don't know if Showtime's going to be in boxing next year. Look at the Fox deal, right? Was there a big announcement with bells and whistles that we're out of here? No. They went out with a whimper. They went out with a whimper like, nah, we done, fam. Yeah, we done, bro.
They ghosted us.
That's what it looked like. He wasn't no announcement, no nothing. I don't even know if Bill Wanger still has a job. I don't know if Bill Wanger still has a job. It's the liaison. And what I'm saying is you banking on a lot of shit down the line when major changes are coming to Showtime. And that we know from Showtime. Before this year is out, major changes are coming. How do you know that content that accounts for less than 1% of the overall viewership, how do you know they want to spend any money at all on that? How do you know?
Do you think this Davis fight will help them?
He said, "Oh yeah, they're gonna make a play. They're gonna make a play," and I'm like, "Bro, they're gonna make a play, a $50 million play," because he thought that the money came from Showtime. And I've been telling you guys, the money for Canelo versus Plant, it didn't come from Showtime. It came from Floyd. It would have had to. He's the only other person you could have got that kind of money from. Showtime is not going to spend $50 fucking million on one card for a fighter they don't even have under fucking contract. They would not spend that, bro. Common sense. Why you think Floyd, right after the fight, what he start doing?
He was talking shit.
Talk shit about you can put this shit together yourself.
Hey, Jules, Emmanuel Boss is asking if Fox is really out of boxing.
Yeah, they're done.
Yeah, they are. They are. You don't think this Davis fight will help them? Yeah, they're out.
Unless, listen, this is the thing. Right before Showtime left, right before HBO left boxing, you know, them Canelo and Golovkin fights, they wasn't that far off from that, and they still left. Both fights did over 1 million buys. Both fights. But the people at HBO, they got ahead of that thing like, nah, man, we see where this is going. And it's what I've been thinking all along. Sports do not belong on cable. No, they don't. Sports at their very best are accessible to everyone. That's what makes them big. If you could go on, which is what makes it amazing that you had a Fox deal and somehow you fucked that up.
Yeah, I mean, that takes talent.
It's
like Jules.
No, it doesn't take talent. It doesn't take talent. It's that you have an inferior product. You have an inferior product, and people ain't watching it. That's why they lost the Fox deal, because the product you putting on is shit.
Fox is looking back at what UFC is doing with ESPN, and they're saying, "Damn, we could have extended with them."
Yep.
I mean, when you think about it, they have. What I see Al does is it's like you go up to these non-boxing people and you're the boxing guy and you probably tell them a bunch of shit they don't fucking understand. And if you had a boxing guy there, he would have said, you know what Al's coming here to do? he's going to split his stable into two, and we're going to end up with subpar content. That's what's going to happen. We're not getting the whole PBC stable. You know, we're not getting all of it. And what we are getting, it's not a substitute for other things that need to happen. For example, Porter was never a substitute for Crawford, but that's what you used him as. The hot ticket for Errol Spence in 2018 and 2019, before the pandemic hit everybody in the pocket, the fight was the Crawford fight, not the Porter fight, not the Mikey Garcia fight, not the Danny Garcia fight.
Irrelevant.
Not the Thurman
fight, bro. That was the fight. For Wilder, you guys spent money on Wilder, not based on his marquee value, but based on what DAZN was willing to pay him. And those two things are not the same thing. Wilder, at that time, you know, now that you got Prince Khaled involved, anything is possible. But at that time, Wilder was not $100 million fighter. It's just DAZN had it to play.
Bro, Fury's not going along with that shit, bro.
I know that shit.
If that's
bro.
happening,
But didn't that put Showtime in the red? That put Showtime in the red, right?
Put Showtime in the red. Look, they offered to do the Brazil fight for $20 million on DAZN. They tell him, nah, turn that down. He turns it down, but they got to give him a care package. Like, bro, you just cost me $20 million. If they was going to give me $20 million for that, you got to break me off, bro. And they didn't give him $20 million. What Stefan Espinoza told Keith Idek is it's around there. It's around 20. So you literally turned down more money for less money. Then you did it again. It's like, yo, like your advisor, you can't see. And that's why I hope that Wilder does break away in these final years of his career. Just go sign to Skills Challenge, which is the Prince's shit. That's his shit over there in Saudi. Sign to them, bro. Because all these people gonna do is fuck you out of some money. That's all they gonna do. Like you don't need time, bro.
They've already fucked you out of 170 million.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing that he let them get away with that, man. It's like, wow.
You gotta, like I was telling Jules, you gotta understand, country. They get away with it because they sign these dick in the booty deals.
But moreover,
right?
I hope he now understands. I don't know what's gonna happen because motherfuckers do a lot of dumb shit. You know what I mean? But if I'm Wilder, bro, what the fuck I look like worrying about Showtime? Is y'all giving me some money? No, right? Then what the fuck? What the fuck do you want? If Prince Khaled want them to show this fight on fucking ABC8, he the one paying, not you motherfuckers. I don't need to worry about you motherfuckers, you platform network motherfuckers. Because if you wanted me, you would have gave me an exclusivity deal. And to date, they never did. From the very beginning, Wilder never had an exclusivity deal with Showtime. That's why he was able to go from Showtime over to Fox.
And it's maybe the reason why he's not fighting Ruiz, because the money's not there.
Money's not fucking there, bro.
And the other thing, Julius, is let's say besides this Davis versus Garcia pay-per-view, let's say every other stupid pay-per-view on Showtime makes a profit. Let's say it does from $2 to $3 million of profit. Is it worth it to Showtime to spend all that time and money on production when they can put a rerun of one of their shows and make more money and get more subscribers?
Moreover, it's just like Drew says it is. You know, to the promoters and the event coordinators, they're looking for money. But primarily what Showtime wants are subscriptions. They want programming and content that will drive subscriptions, ideally in the long term. And TV shows do that better than singular events. Like if we got the Leo Vega versus Michael Giles fight, even if it's a hot ticket, it's only a hot ticket for one night. You know what I mean? Yeah, you might do some pay-per-views with that, but that's not going to bring you long-term subscriptions. Now, what would is if we have the Leo Vega saga. You see what I mean? It's a TV show, a miniseries. We go through all these different episodes. That gives you subscribers in the long run, and that is story-based programming. Whereas sports, it's in the moment, bro. Yeah, Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Davis is a hot ticket. Do you have two others like it? No. After this is done, what you gonna do?
That's right.
You know,
Put Andrade and Charlo together.
But no, you guys got to understand, like Jules is saying, like it needs to be consistent because they want to see subscriptions, so they see like, oh, this is how many subscriptions we got. We can go to the advertisers with our metrics and look like, bang, this is how many people are watching consistently.
Exactly.
This is This is what we want for our advertising budget. And these are all the fucking companies that most of these guys that watch boxing buy. Oh, Jules drinks Corona. We're going to advertise Corona because these motherfuckers is degenerates drinking Corona.
Exactly. Just like, look, ESPN, why you think they got Teofimo the Bud Light shit? You know what I mean? Like, why you think? You know what I mean?
Because he's friends.
Well, that too.
Now you gotta put the picture up now.
Jules. You gotta pull the picture.
You gotta put it up.
I know. I was
pull it up
right now. I was reaching for that shit right now.
This is the best picture, really.
But in all seriousness, it is like that. That the event coordinators, the promoters, the managers, the fighters, they're focused on what the event is going to generate in terms of dollars. Whereas if you're Showtime, it's not so much the dollars. You're looking for long-term subscriptions. You want to know that you can consistently deliver numbers to the network. And one big fight, which is what Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis is, how big, I don't know. We'll see, we'll find out. But even, let's say it does $1 million, Golovkin versus Canelo did $1 million twice on HBO, and they still ended up leaving boxing. So even if this does do $1 million, would that be enough to save Showtime? You got to show them that we could keep doing this. And what I see is you can't. Your stable isn't strong enough to do that.
Their biggest fights this year would be this one, and if they get over that Spence and Crawford one. But like, let's say they do those two fights. What big fights do they have after this?
And you know what's funny, fella? Go ahead.
I was going to say that. Plus, they don't have their own stable fight to like make. They're fighting with other guys. Like Ryan Garcia is not with PBC. Crawford's not with PBC. So they have to cross the street to make something work.
The way that they played it, which look, I get it, but things are the way that they are. The way that they played it, their intention was to create a biosphere, and that is not sustainable for a sport, bro. It's just it's not, bro. It's still sports. You could say it's a business all fucking day. It's a business. It's a business. Do you realize that every organized sport is a business? The NFL is a business. The NBA is a business. The NHL is a business. That doesn't stop them from being sports.
Exactly. And when they don't have to delegitimize it.
Exactly.
You know what's funny when you say that, Jules? They're all businesses, and those other businesses realize we make more money when it's extremely competitive, and the best are always playing against the fucking best.
Moreover, you cannot justify the fuckery in boxing by reiterating it's a business when you do realize that every other sport is doing better business than you.
Because the business plan is good. Their business
so
plan
did you see that this tweet from the forklift driver? Tank Davis will be in an elite company with brutal KO over Ryan Garcia Saturday night. And in this tweet, he pictures Igor Jordan, Serena Williams, Tiger Woods, and Emma Smith because he's a Dallas Cowboy.
Listen,
oh my God.
Look, I ain't even going to do it. Because, like I said, it's people, I tune them out, bro. I don't need to know what
my point is this. Imagine if the NBA had a regular champion. Imagine if the Masters, one of golf's greatest championships, had a regular jacket. Super Bowl, not so super.
Yeah, the OK Bowl. You have the Super Bowl, and then you have the All Right Bowl.
It's all right.
What has me dying? Like today on the Boxing Voice, Ness was cooking all these fools they're literally running to Shakur Stevenson to fucking take care of Devin. What they don't understand, like you do that, you're building Shakur, and Shakur's already a bona fide draw, y'all. Bonafide.
Yeah, he did. He not only, and this is what I love about that kid. Like that's why I'm not pressed about what happens this weekend. Like I might not even do a prediction video because I don't care. Like I don't care which one wins, to be real with you. But Shakur is doing it the right way, the organic way, in New Jersey, selling out. He brings in either $1 million to ESPN or close to $1 million on ESPN. This kid is getting watched. The only thing that I wish he would do more of is fight 3 times a year instead of 2. That's my only hang-up.
That's my only criticism. And like I tell you, Jules, let Devin beat Loma, and he stays there. Let Shakur beat who he's gonna fight next. Who I told you, Shakur versus Devin on pay-per-view will easily do close to 300,000 buys.
Yeah, because the idea is, it's not, we trying to hit $1 million. No, we trying to make money. So at first, maybe we make money with a little 500,000 pay-per-view buys. You feel me? Because it's all about what it costs to do the show. It's not about a specific number. It's all about what it costed to do the show. So if the show costs 3, I want to make 4. If the show costs 5, I want to make 6. If the show costs 7, I want to make 8. Whereas these guys, they trying to build Rome in a day, and that don't happen, bro. That don't happen. Y'all tried to cut off the whole world of boxing with that joke-ass outfit, and it didn't work. Other people sprouted up. Other outfits sprouted up in your neck of the woods. They're outdoing you. You think that this little pee-wee ass fight this weekend is some shit? They are offering these motherfuckers $400 million. And you think you doing something?
And you got the nerve to say Eddie Hearn ain't got no stars.
You talking about that Saudi tournament?
You know damn well, Jules, they would probably offer fucking Canelo 70 to 100 to go fight David over there. I know they would.
The wild shit to me is the ignorance, because you got to be. Do you realize you got royalty that has a vetted interest in this sport, and for the most part, they are not interested in what you got. They not. They interested in some top-ranked shit, some Queensberry shit. That's why they fucking with Fury. Ukraine is all in that conversation. My man Usyk, my man AJ, you can't even have that conversation if he's not involved. And Wilder lucky dog ass, his lucky dog ass, it looked like he involved, but it looked like you not. All right?
Yeah,
and you think this little corn pone ass, this little domestic squabble of children is some shit? 400 M's, you cocksucking bastards.
That's face of boxing money right there.
What it is,
Jules,
though,
Shakur is on his way to being, on the path of like Canelo and those other guys, where he's drawing a lot of money. People are watching him. He's popular. He's the real star.
And you know why, right? It's because he's fighting champions. PBC guys don't usually fight champions.
No, they don't.
Like Tank, Deontay Wilder, Demetrius Andrade, and Jamal Charlo. I mean, combined, how many world champions have they fought? How many have they beat?
That Wilder's even in the conversation is he's very lucky. He's lucky. Very fortunate.
He's lucky, and he's forced to be in that conversation, because they're all forced to be in it. They're all really mad, though, because one way or another, DAZN is going to be involved, which means Eddie and Matchroom are involved.
I feel like to some degree they will be, because it is kind of like what Drew said, that Len is a billionaire, the Prince is a billionaire. You think that's a fucking accident? What do you think? The Prince is rubbing elbows with Frank Warren? No, he's not.
No. Well, here's the thing:
not rubbing elbows with fucking Bob. Are you nuts?
The Prince
rubbing elbows with fucking Len Blavatnik.
The Prince and Len Blavatnik own other businesses outside of what they do with boxing and DAZN. That's what people don't understand.
Dirty money, blood money, heads get cut off. It's rocking in Saudi, bro.
As long as this fucking fight gets made, fuck it.
Care about that politicking shit.
Hey, did you guys?
We're hound dogs, like Elvis, another great Capricorn. Hound dog, baby.
Hey, did you guys see that poll they had who would win between Spence and Jermell, and like the majority of the people were picking Spence?
I saw that. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I was like, these guys got to be smoking. This has to be a family.
But wait. You got to remember, the world, I'm going to let y'all in on a secret that only us extraterrestrials know. 80% of your planet is all idiots. 80%. That's not bullshit. Only 20% of the planet are critical thinkers. Only 5% are made to be leaders. The other 80%, y'all motherfuckers is built to follow. That's what you built for. That's what you here for. Now we designed you. You are here to follow. You are too fucking stupid. You got a fighter in Errol. This man don't even fight. What the fuck are you so excited about? That motherfucker don't even fight. But you still high on him because somebody told you to be high on him.
Yep.
Even though in reality, as a consumer, he's not even giving you nothing to consume.
Yep.
What's going on with that Keith fight, by the way? Anybody know?
Listen, like I said, last I heard via my sources, that fight is going down, bro.
What? But why the fuck is it not made already? Like, what the fuck is taking
I don't know, but that was all I could tell you is that's the last thing I heard. That's
apparently they're gonna announce it this weekend. So
Well,
I think that wouldn't be bad if they did announce it.
And that wouldn't be bad, but that's all I know is that's the last thing I heard. I haven't heard nothing else.
It has to be because Rocha already has a fight.
Guys, why do you
worried
about that fucking fight? I don't give a fuck about that fight no more at all.
I mean, it's not that I care or don't care. It's just that if somebody asks me about it, like I said, that's the last thing I heard. They fight.
I'm not gonna lie.
So once again, the Terrence Crawford little rumors were false again. Like what?
They can't be false this time because Rocha already has the fight and they were mandated to fight. You know.
Yeah.
And he said he couldn't reach a deal with Crawford, so they would have said Crawford.
Listen, the jewel was that Rocha is under the impression, if you go back and read the article, because it says it in plain English, Rocha is under the impression that Crawford and Spence are going to fight. Now, why would he be under that impression?
He got paid to take the winner.
You know what I mean? Now, Rodolfo Lama says, I never got the price hike for DAZN. They've been charging 99 renewals for the past 4 years. Is the price spike for the new subscribers? Look, man, I'm going to tell you what. I wasn't happy with the price hike either. But shit ain't free in life.
Nope.
So like I say, shit ain't free in life. I knew that price that they started with, and I'm sure Drew knew, I'm pretty sure many of you guys knew, that in the beginning, it's good faith. You want to attract attention. You spend, but then you start to, okay, now it's time for us to trim the fat and fine-tune this. Who mic is that? And fine-tune this shit, you know what I mean? And everything is like that. Not just this shit. Everything is like that. Yeah, in the beginning, you want to make an impression. You made an impression. You acquired talent. You started understanding the American market a little more, which is why you stopped trying, because I've been saying the American market sucks. Mostly, yeah, it sucks. Now, there's a reason. There are many contributing factors for that. But for the most part, yeah, it sucks. It's just a bunch of guys virtue signaling. That's all it is. You love Clarissa. Did you buy her pay-per-view?
We know the answer.
They streamed it.
You love Wilder. Praise God. Did you buy his?
He gave his life for me, but I'll still stream it. Fuck it.
I talked to some fucking idiot last week. It's 2023, bro. Who pays for pay-per-views anymore? I know you don't. you made my point. The point that I've been making for 4 to 5 years here on this channel, based on that particular group of fans. What have I been saying? You are bums. You don't buy pay-per-views. You argue online all day about these fighters just to take the food out their plate. You fucking bum. Stop talking to me.
They're basically the Jeff Spicoli's of the boxing world, man.
And we see
if you don't have fucking $80 for some fights, bro, don't talk to me. Get a job.
That's why I'm glad I locked in my yearly rate, but just before the price hike, so I got it at 149 instead of the 2-something.
It's ridiculous. Like, you really sitting here arguing with me about Wilder, bro? You need a job. Never mind Wilder. You don't have $80.
My McDonald's job doesn't pay me enough, Jules. I have felonies, okay?
The forklift job doesn't pay.
No cocaine.
I'm trying, all right. I'm trying to make it.
Yes, sell through the drive-through window, man.
Listen, it's not being like, I don't want what I'm saying to be confused with flexing or flossing, because I'm not. What I'm saying is, what's wrong with you that you spend all day online arguing about these things when in all actuality, you can't afford them. You're not a consumer. So what you say, it doesn't matter. It only matters if you spend money. If you spend money, then everything you say matters because you're part of that conversation. But when I know that not only do you steal all of that content, you steal all of that content. When I know that, bro, what the fuck do I care what you think, bro? What does anyone care what you think? The people who you're arguing in favor of, they don't care what you think because you don't represent not an infinitesimal speck of metric data to them. You're not a customer. You're a bum. So shut up. Just keep
You're
stealing.
unaccounted for.
They're
Boom.
contradicting themselves too.
Keep
Mic
being
drop.
a bum.
Jules, you never answered my question earlier.
Good.
So if they have Davis and Garcia this year, that's a pretty big show. They'll get some decent numbers with that and a lot of money. And the Spence and Crawford. What's a big fight after that they could make?
No, see, look.
Benvenides Andrade.
No, see, look, this is the thing. There are fights. They're going to play it wrong. I know they are.
They don't have any pay-per-view.
No. Let me break it down for you. Let me break it down for you. To help Showtime, to help the platform, you don't need more pay-per-views. You need more regular Showtime fights. And I feel like if you did Charlo versus Andrade on regular Showtime, that could bring you maybe 600, 700,000 viewers, maybe more. Regular Showtime. Here's the problem. It won't be on regular Showtime. To satisfy the fighter's financial demands, where's it going to end up?
Pay-per-view.
Now, you tell me, Jay, do those two guys belong on pay-per-view?
Not right
Well,
now. They don't. Hell no. Fuck no.
Benavidez versus Morel. A spicy fight.
No.
If you could get 400,000 with David Lemieux, you could probably do a little better than that with David Morel. Unbeaten fighter. It's a spicy fight, and it's more accessible if it's not behind a paywall. But what are you going to do?
Put it on pay-per-view.
Bro,
Exactly,
that fight
they
is
don't-
gonna do like
Dude, these are guys that put Luis Ortiz and Charles Martin.
Yes, they did.
on
Yes,
New
they
Year's
did.
Day.
So-
On New
Yes, they
Year's
did.
Day, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
You have hangovers, bro.
You
I
can't
don't
make
put it
this
past
shit
them.
up. You actually can't.
The problem is, at least because there are so many contributing factors to what led them to where they are, is also at some point you spoiled these fighters to where they think that they're supposed to get an arm and a leg to fight a good fighter. You made that happen. Whereas Bob, God bless him, and I hope he lives 100 more years, right? Bob understands. I did a video yesterday. He was talking about why he don't chase Canelo. We got to focus on our budget. We have to be economically responsible. That means that we're not just going to be throwing money at shit for no reason. We got fighters to accommodate. We got to stretch this shit out and we got to make it work. That's how you do that. But when you got guys, oh, so you think that because you fighting a good fighter that I'm supposed to break the bank for you? I'll tell you what, bro. Kick a rock and hit the fucking road, bro. We don't need you. Because we're not going to break the bank for you. And I'm not going to be over here looking crazy when I put your fucking ass on pay-per-view and you don't sell shit. Because then they're going to look at me crazy for putting you on pay-per-view.
Yeah, and these dudes don't want to fight. Like, Jules, how many times did James Toney have non-title televised title fights just to stay sharp?
Because they don't look at it. They don't look at it that way. The way it is now, it's just like Steve Kim said. Nobody wants to go backwards on the money. And I feel like nobody wants to put their foot down. Like, listen, Brody, you don't belong on pay-per-view. Sorry. What do you think? That if we don't accommodate you, you're going to go to Top Rank and they're going to... No, they're not. They're not. Top Rank ain't going to break the bank for you, bro. You nuts? No, it ain't going down. But with the PBC guys, what I see is somebody over there got jelly where they spine supposed to be. Because, David... You don't belong on pay-per-view. The best thing that they could do for you is put you on regular Showtime so that more people see you. If more people see you, more people talk about you, your notoriety grows, and maybe you could get some corporate sponsorships, and you grow things organically, gradually. You don't actually belong on pay-per-view, and that's what your debut showed us.
Hey, Jules, you remember the Charlo doubleheader?
Mm-hmm.
How piss poor that did? So where are the Charlos now?
No, listen. Here's the wild part.
Hey,
the
bro,
first
but
Charlo doubleheader was on Fox. They both look like shit in that doubleheader. But here's the point I'm making.
Yep.
That doubleheader's numbers were spectacular.
Yes, they were.
It was like 2 million or some shit like that.
That's a lot of fucking people.
Right? And if you stick with that, and 2 million people, or 3 million, or 4 million, if you do this right, if they regularly see these guys, that abundance of people, you know, for the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between, they're going to have a solid following. But what did you do? You put them on pay-per-view. In the bubble.
The fans win.
Now, for what it's worth, Joe's, we bought it, but not everybody did. Not everybody did.
That's why the fans win.
Yeah, exactly, Michael.
We fucking won, bro. You know, but my point was that here you have nobody wants to make a long-term investment. And it's just like the Nick Khan guy said, that everybody in boxing is selling something now and they're selling something tonight, but what about tomorrow? And if you were doing more to get these cards out there to as many people as possible, you might actually be in a much better position today. But you were chasing the short money, like, hey, let's put it on pay-per-view. Maybe some people buy it. Damn near nobody bought it, bro. Most of those shits
and they don't learn.
Most of that shit, nobody bought it.
I mean, it's.
No, I mean,
it's
after the
simple.
Ortiz Martin pay-per-view, they then put Thurman Barrios on pay-per-view for $80. I mean, who the fuck would want to watch that? I mean, didn't they learn from that? I mean, come on.
Now, Jack says Loma or Devin fighting Shakur does 300,000 buys. We'll see, bro. I'm not gonna. First, I want to see what this weekend's fight does before I make any.
Congrats, Jules.
Shout out to my man D Styles, Styling in the DD and in the Styles. Hey, shout out to old Pendergates. Hey, Rider of the Storm says, wouldn't it be great if pay-per-view platforms accepted?
Rider of the Storm. Listen. Rider of the Storm. I gotta say this. Rider of the Storm.
That shit would be hilarious, man.
Rider of the Storm. I'm gonna steal that and tweet it, and that's racist. And keep it up. I love it.
Oh, God. Deed says, bought the Charlo pay-per-view. Long night that was. Yeah, see, the thing is that, like, when you see what they're doing with Shakur, which I love, and you see what they're doing with Jared, which I love, you got these kids. These are top-notch, top-level, top-flight, all the good stuff, right? And you don't gotta go through a lot to see them do their work. You turn on your ESPN, there they are. You see what I mean? And it's supposed to be that way for a while, believe it or not. Like, the majority of your career is not actually supposed to be at the box office. A good chunk of it is supposed to be just getting people to see you and watch you. You know what I mean? So what they doing with Shakur, they doing it right. They're like, look, he sold out that shit in New Jersey. I think he probably did a little over 1 million or close to it or whatever it is. We'll find out what the numbers are, but they're usually good for him. They're usually good.
He did 1.5 for Oscar. He did 1.5 mil.
How much was it for the contract, Kyle?
Fisher Genius says that if they accepted EBT, they would sell more pay-per-views.
D-Style says Benavidez versus Plant Marinade. Yo, talk about it, D-Style. Thank you. Like, this is what I mean.
Did they even do that? I thought they did less than that.
And this is the thing. A lot of these guys, they go with whatever Sampson said just because they're happy that Sampson is talking to. Like, bro, you telling me that you held out on doing this fight in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, we're in 2023. You held out for 5 years so you could sell 100,000 pay-per-view.
Jules, didn't it do less than that?
Bro, the number, like I said, I use all the ballparks. It's somewhere in between 49,000 and 100,000.
Oh,
those are the two numbers that are out there. But I'm just saying, you needed 5 years for that?
You know what these fucking idiots will tell you? They'll be like, oh, well, it's because they're not champions anymore. You fucking idiots. I thought belts didn't matter, you fucking idiot.
And moreover, if that's the case, because they're not champions. Then shouldn't you have fucking done this fight in 2019 when they were champions?
For those people who have that energy, they better be buying the fight on Saturday. That's all I got to say.
Bro, like I said,
bro, nah.
if that fight do any numbers, right? And I'm not gonna down it because I'm not a hater. If it could do $1 million, do $1 million. If it could do better, do better. If you could do better, do better, right?
You buying
My
it?
thing is that whatever that fight do, if I don't know nothing else, it's not because of you. It's not because of you, Javante. We know what you do. You don't do numbers like that.
But
You
by the
do-
way, did that Paramount Global subsidiary known as BoxingScene.com reported the numbers on Benavidez versus Plant?
No.
Wow.
You know they're not. You know they're not, bro. You know this is shit. You know they're not going to, and that's why. Look, this is why when people ask me, why don't you try to get stuff, bro? For what? So he could lie to me? I don't need to talk to him to know he's lying. I don't need to hear it from you, bro. I know what's going on. If you had something to brag about, you'd be bragging about it, and you mighty motherfucking quiet about what that fight did.
Jules, if you had Steven Espinoza on your channel, Drew would come on here and have a field day with his ass.
Well, he wouldn't have to because I'd have a fucking field day. Like, bro,
I wouldn't even get a chance. Jules could take it from there. Jules know what to do.
I know what to ask him. Like, I know what to ask him, but look. Besides the point,
He blocked me, bro.
everything that these guys have done the last 6-7 years is why boxing in America is where it's at.
Yep.
Yeah, it's literally y'all. It's not Bob. No, it's not even Oscar. It's y'all.
Bro, he blocked me because I told him to wrap it up, man.
Wrap that shit up, yo.
I told him to wrap it up, get his job interview, get a resume, find a different job, bro. It's
Yeah,
not-
go on Indeed. Type some shit.
They have felonies, guys.
Type some shit. Yo, start a private practice. I think Stephen was a lawyer. You know what I mean?
I'll
'Cause
be
it's-
blocked me, but not Drew. Drew be saying some wild shit.
Bro, he didn't even block me. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
I really would have blocked me.
You're just special, I guess.
Bro,
You know
my-
why? Because Steven knows it's not personal. Because we go back. Because Steven went to Stanford and UCLA. I went to USC, so we're both collegiate rivals. But I say wild shit, but it's all focused on the business and an occasional weasel
me
here and there.
too. I just told him to wrap it up, like it's over.
All I can say, and this is not wishful thinking. This is me putting myself in Stefan's shoes or Al's and asking myself what I want to be there, right? This is how I look at the situation. And when I look at it, I'm like, nah, I wouldn't want to be them because the numbers ain't up, the stable's not strong, a lot of guys not active, you know, we don't account, we don't look like we're a big part of Showtime's bottom line. Like we don't look like that.
And the
So
fans
when I-
know, yeah. And the
so
fans
when
know
I-
that I'm sorry.
So when I see the position that they in, I'm like, bruh, I legitimately do not know if Bob Backish and all them guys up there is gonna want this shit. Like, what we need that shit for?
They
And I
can't
think
give
Julius,
us.
I think the fans know that a lot of their fighters are frauds. Like they're not nearly what they're made out to be.
Well, even if they didn't know they were frauds, can these frauds at least drive some numbers?
Can they at least fight, bro? They're all in.
Yeah,
That.
they didn't even
Yeah,
do that.
like you know what? They could be frauds, every single one of them. But can they drive some numbers? Because to them guys, that's what it's all about. Long-term viewership.
They
And
can't
when
do-
you want long-term, see, if you want long-term viewership, example, me and Drew. Let's say Big Drew versus Julius tomorrow night on the pay-per-view, right? That's one night, man. You need that shit every Saturday night for a year, 2 years, 3 years. You need it to be consistent. And
But guys,
that programming
what
is
if-
anything but.
but what if Big Jules and Drew don't fight on terrestrial television? How do you build a big name?
That's a good question.
The terrestrial television now is just the cable streaming, whatever.
No. That's a good question because I think that speaks to it's a part of it. The moment that boxing ended up on premium cable networks, that's when it started shrinking because it never belonged there. So ideally, no, concisely, you can't really build but so much on a premium cable network. It's a wonder that Golovkin on HBO was able to gain some traction. You know, it's a wonder because that was a premium cable network. Mm-hmm. But in essence, boxing was bigger when it wasn't on cable.
It wasn't a wonder, really, bro. Because HBO was the bigger.
How many views did? I'm sorry to interrupt, but how many views did Keith Thurman versus Danny Garcia made on CBS?
4 million.
Wow.
That's where you needed to go to build the name.
The biggest TV, cable TV network.
Your sister station doesn't promote boxing.
For how many years? Everyone was watching HBO. Nobody was really high on Showtime, and the other TV networks, cable TV networks, they weren't popping like that.
They weren't.
7 years ago. What you say right there is the reason why Jim Lampley was the lead announcer for those co-productions. HBO is a stronger brand.
HBO was a stronger brand and a bigger brand, but I guess that it's kind of like it was a slow burn. I feel the whole thing that point that, you know, the moment that boxing ended up on premium cable networks, you cut off a large portion of the audience. Whereas if it were on regular terrestrial, let's say that boxing were on regular terrestrial television all this time, the audience would still be massive. It would still be massive if that's where it was this whole time. That at any given moment, you could tune into Channel 5, which is free in New York. I don't know about everywhere else, but it's free in New York. Tune into Channel 5 and bang. And it just amazes me that, like, wow, dog, you guys actually scored a major deal, a landmark deal, and somehow you fucked that up.
Yeah. See, they were supposed to use the network to try to build these fighters' names up.
Yeah.
Put them on terrestrial television so I could build a following, and then you convert them to pay-per-view buyers.
And I think back to that when they struck that deal, and a lot of times I just wonder about it, like your dog, what could they have done differently? And I'm like, yo, you know what? Even though you entered into that deal, you never had the sustainability for that deal. You literally spread out your stable. That's what they did, you know. It's like they had their A team fighting on Fox, and then they had their B team fighting on Showtime. But what you ended up with was a lot of subpar content. They're like, nah, like Spence versus Porter, for starters, okay, if I could go back in a time machine and I'm them and I'm going to do this different, I don't put Spence versus Porter on pay-per-view. I make that a regular Saturday night fight. I give Errol 3, if that, or 2, and I give Sean 1, maybe 1.5. And like, yeah, y'all gonna fight. Y'all gonna fight. Yeah. No, let me finish. If you would have did that as a regular fight, I think it does 5 million views. Why? Danny Garcia and Keith Thurman did 4 million views. Mm-hmm. Spence was hot at the time. He was hot. If you would have gave that one away instead of charging people an arm and a leg for it, you might have brought in some serious fucking metrics for Fox that would have left Fox saying, no, we need to give them more money because they're giving us views. We need to give them more money. The way y'all did it, you put it on pay-per-view, what, 277 or whatever it was, 1,000 boy. That ain't shit to Fox. You think that's some shit to Fox? Ah, man.
These guys consistently get like shit.
Remember Espinosa was he was pissed. Remember, Jules, when the Fox dude came out and said, yeah, we're getting all the primetime stuff. We take precedence.
And he couldn't say shit. He couldn't. That's why I say that I could see that he's the bitch. That you supposed to be telling Al what you want, but instead Al be telling you what he want. It's supposed to be the other way because he gets his budget from you. You don't get your budget from him.
Well, I mean, Jules, see, the thing is, like, Steven probably tried, but I'll slap the shit out of him and, you know, put him in his place. So, you know.
No, it's not even that. I can imagine they have compromising information on Steven. Because remember, Jules, we went back and forth in, like, December with him, and he's like, well, I don't know how many of these cards are going to be pay-per-view. That's up to the promoter. And I'm like, bro,
Yeah,
and that's how you know he be lying to people, because that's not up to the promoter. That's up to the network.
Yeah, Al might also have Suleiman and some naked pictures of him someplace or something like that.
Hey,
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt that.
Did they bring
Like
out
for example, the decision for Lomachenko versus Lopez to not be a pay-per-view, that didn't come from Bob. That came from ESPN. He literally said we gotta wait to see what ESPN want to do. He said that. That was in 2020. Okay? That decision is not made by the promoter. How the fuck the promoter gonna dictate to the damn network that gives them a, yeah, yo, this is gonna be a pay? It don't work like that.
Thank you, ESPN, because we didn't have to pay.
You know what? I'm kind of mad at what D-Style said in the super chat. I'm kind of mad about that at AT&T, man. They fucked us over and we lost HBO Boxing After Dark because of them bastards.
But HBO, but you got to understand, the promoters are doing the same thing. It was only a matter of time. The paywall shit, it was around the time TV was changing.
No, and I'm going to say this too. They saw this coming. They saw, and I think that as much as it bothers me that HBO left, look at them now. They cooling. HBO, I love my HBO Max.
They did this around the time Game of Thrones was taking off. And I'm like,
I always kind of like the rivalry between them and Showtime, showing different boxing matches going back and forth and competing like that. I always like that.
And it's only that competition is only good in real competition. See, put it this way. If they would have had a thing like a box off annually, HBO versus Showtime, your stable versus mine, like a World Series type of thing.
That would have been the shit right there.
Fucking amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Tim Bradley versus Sean Porter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that would have been great fight.
That would have been fucking amazing.
HBO Boxing After Dark versus Showtime, man. That would have been
Jim Lampley announcing. Yeah.
When you look at Eddie Hearn and how he do his fighters, or you look at Bob and how he do his fighters, right? They're building. They're always building. I cannot say you giving me Romero versus Barroso is you building. What you reheating is a dinner. You trying to serve me up some Davis versus Romero again, ain't you?
Yeah, that's a rewarmed TV dinner right there.
Speaking of which, about that, I mean, the Jules, I know you put out a video already about it, but I just want to get the panel's opinion. Like, this is a setup for sure.
What's the setup?
It is. I mean, like they're doing,
this is all manufactured, bro, big time, man. This probably was their plan all along. It's
they're trying to get Gervonta.
I mean, I was saying long before this happened, like they're trying to give Rolly that title. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, because you got Gervonta's already sitting there going, "Oh, well, I'm already a legend. It doesn't matter."
And all the stipulations.
Now put it this way. Now here's another example. Showtime tried to get in the influencer business with Jake Paul. It didn't work out. In turn, DAZN got in the influencer business with KY Jelly, and he's selling. He's selling. When KY fights, people buy that shit. Not me, but somebody buy that shit.
Do they play porn music when he comes out to the ring or something, man? I mean, what
they do? I think Ron Jeremy walk him out.
He
can't,
man. He's senile now. He can't do that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but what I'm saying is that you notice that two separate platforms tried to ride the same wave. One found sustainable success with it because these Misfits cards, they come out with them cards as regularly as they come out with Matchroom cards. They're selling. When you look out in the audience, there's people there. There's more people in attendance for a Misfits card than there were to watch Fundora get knocked out at the Punch Bowl.
That's sad, man.
It is, but that's what I mean. And I'm like, and you still have, that's why I say that I got to get out of America. Maybe I got to go up north, chill with Michael in Canada, where maybe the people are a little bit smarter or whatever. Because like on some real shit, America is dumb, bro.
Jules, come to Mars over here with me, bro.
I might have to. No, but really, like,
fuck, bro.
These guys will look at these cards on Showtime, and I always do this when I'm watching a Showtime card. I look at the crowd. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. It ain't nobody there. Watch your average KY Jelly card. It's people to the wall watching them shits, bro.
Dude, everybody be going to them boxers, celebrities, and shit. Like, they be chilling.
Right.
For real, B.
He was at the last one.
Hey, Jules, have you heard? I've heard that her fight's pretty much going to get announced. Have you heard where or anything about Senicia?
Not where, but I know that they tried to get Yoka. I know that they tried. Eric Gomez started talking some bullshit.
They ain't want that smoke. They ain't want that super bad smoke. Let's be real.
I got that intel. I got that intel last week, and I wasn't surprised like that. Yo, Costa. Yeah, I figured that. I know what
women fighters are in no position to be done.
It's not that. It's that. You know what they're gonna do? This is what they're gonna do. They're gonna wait for Senicia to leave. They're gonna wait for her to vacate those 2 titles.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna see about. Yep. They're gonna. Let me finish.
Sorry.
They're gonna see about Tina Ruprecht picking one of them up, and then they're gonna do the part 2 because Tina beat Yo Costa. They've been waiting all this time for Senicia to leave. What Senicia is probably gonna do now is fight the girl upstairs, Jessica, the one that just beat the Canadian girl. She's gonna fight that Mexican girl. That's gonna be a good fight. She'll win 2 titles in that fight. It's cool. But that's what the plan always was. That chick was never gonna fight her, man. And I knew that. That's why I kept saying that. Bro, she gonna fight her really? She knows she gonna get her ass whooped. She got to know it. Your coach know, your pastor know, your community leader knows. Senicia fuck you up. They all know. Everybody know. So it's like
your community leader and your pastor. That's funny.
They all your congressman knows. You can call your congressman right now. Yo, Senicia fuck me up. Yup. Don't fight. Don't fight her. Leave her alone, yo. Don't fight her. Bro. If you want to keep them belts, you better not fight her. Yo, some real shit. So I'm like, I thought about it though, and I'm like, yo, what's likelier than not? That she gonna bite the bullet and fight, or that she rather have an extended reign and make safe money? Because even if Senicia offers you a career high payday, right? That's one night, one fight. Why risk your belts and your reign and your health when you could get safe money? You still making more now than you were in the past, so you liking the money that you getting because you got Marv Nation and you got Golden Boy. You getting more money than you was before. So why would you jeopardize the steady stream for a fight that you know you can't win? You can't win that fight.
It don't make good business sense, you know?
That's why I figured she not gonna fight her, man. Like, you're not gonna fight her no matter what they offer her, because the money not safe. Not surprised though. I'm not surprised.
And we the fans get to pay for it in the bad wigs. Now we can't see it.
It is what it is. She can't hide forever. I know it's other girls coming through there to whoop her ass. I ain't worried about it. Long as the main thing I want is for Senicia to fight. I like don't even waste time on it. Fuck it. She don't want to throw down, move on. It's other girls upstairs, they'll fight you. And they'll fight her.
And Senicia she'll go fight, like you said, she'll fight, beat another bitch ass, and still talk shit about Ioka. Like what, bitch?
Exactly. Like you not. There's no way this works out to where bro, people not dumb. That girl is not scared of nobody. She used to fight, even though she belonged at, which is what people kind of don't know. I know because I've been following her career for a long time. She used to have to go 2 divisions north because people wouldn't fight her. She not worried about you. She will fuck you up. But, you know, you don't want to fight. It is what it is. You don't want to fight. But you're not going to convince nobody she's scared of you, bro. Look at her and look at you. She will fuck you up, yo.
That kind of reminds me when Zerto said that Bivol was ducking him.
Like, who you think believe that shit? It's like when Charlo ran up on Bivol, like, bro. Yeah. What the fuck do you think believes this shit, bro?
We can fight for all the belts.
He said undisputed. I'm like,
I want to pivot real quick. We can come back. I just want Dominican fighters to call Dominican baseball players up and figure out how to pass a fucking drug test.
Nah, bro, that's the setup. Listen to me, bro. Listen to me. That's a setup, bro. That's just like really though. That's a setup. Like I could tell you, it's a setup. Like
yeah, he's either gonna fight Isaac Cruz next, or if Rolly gets that belt.
The thing was that I had 2 things I was thinking. It's either Puello is going to throw this fight because the fighter that I have seen, Rolly don't beat him. So it's like, all right, so what you about to do, Ugas? You going to let him fuck you up? Because Rolly's not a good fighter. You not Showtime and all of them, you're not going to convince me that he's a good fighter. There is nothing you can do to convince me that he's a good fighter. So you can have Puello go in there and throw the fight, or you could do something to Puello to get him out of here so he ends up with an easier guy. But what you're not going to do is fool me into thinking that he's a good fighter. That retard is food, bro. Sandor beats him. Catterall beats him. Prograis kills him. Matias kills him. That is not. He is not a good
the guy
fighter.
that he's fighting could knock him out. I ain't gonna lie.
No, the guy. No. Look, the guy that he's fighting, right? He's 40 years old. 3 losses. 2 of them he got knocked out.
Yeah, fought since August too.
He used to campaign as a lightweight.
Yeah, Rolly's winning that title. He's winning that fight.
Yeah, the only reason why he's winning that title is to hand it over to Tank in a rematch. We all know that.
Yeah,
Yep, that's it.
Yeah,
he's
that's
gonna
right.
go in there.
Always,
Go lead the medal.
he's always
Damn,
got
Tank will be able to get
Because
his
fellas,
title.
think about it. Like, let's just say, like, against all odds, Tank loses to Ryan. They can still do the fight. Really,
Yeah.
They could. That wouldn't sabotage it because it's not. There's no belts on the line for this fighter to catch weight. He can move up and have it right after. Immediately
Exactly.
afterwards.
Like if Ryan, let's say Ryan knocked him out in a way where he don't want the rematch straight away. You go into the Ricardo Romero fight, beat him for the WBA.
Boom.
Ricardo
Romero. Got to see it from Josh Taylor.
Holy Romero.
Do you think the new guy? Do you think this guy can win the fight against Rolly?
No, he's gonna get knocked out.
Damn.
He's 40 years old, bro. Like,
He's gonna get knocked
Yeah,
out.
man,
He should pretend that he like. He should pretend that he has Rolly's nose. Like make Rolly believe that he took his
He's
nose.
like, got your nose, Rolly.
Yeah.
On this panel.
Rolly
But this is a-
pull out his super punch with the white helmet on his fist.
This is a common practice.
by the way, did you guys actually know that I actually ran into Rolly once and I asked him for an autograph, but an ice cream truck ran by and he started chasing it. So
I bet he did. Right, funny shit is he probably got on all fours. He probably got on all fours to chase that shit.
Along with that fur coat that he had.
Dude, I
Along with that fur coat
swear.
again.
If
Along with
I
that
ever
fur
ran
coat that
into
he had,
Rolly,
baby stare down.
hey, I swear, if I ever ran into Rolly and he had the fur coat on, especially, I'd take a picture with him just for the fucking hell
I'll
of it.
tell you what, if y'all go to Vegas, because he lives in Vegas,
Yep.
if y'all go to Vegas and he see y'all, make sure you got a green tennis ball. If he come up on you, just throw that shit.
All right. So
Bro,
real
you can
quick, man.
pretend to throw that shit and he'd still run after it.
Bro. Yo, so am I hearing correctly that Devin is not allowed to sit in the front row?
Nah, he not. Ness was bugging out off of that early this morning. Yo, look, man.
I love Ness sometimes, bro. I love Ness.
For real, because look, the shit is like I think boxing fans forget, man. I really do. I think boxing fans really forget, or maybe they're not fans of boxing, that I'm not here for Eddie. I'm not here for Bob. I'm not here for Al or none of them. I'm here for me and the entertainment that you give me. Now, I fuck with Eddie because I like a lot of your shows. I fuck with Bob because I like a lot of your shows. Now, Frank, I don't really care for a lot of your shows, but you're funny.
We don't care.
I still like Frank because he funny as shit. Like, he's still funny I still fuck with Frank. But it's like, yo, dog, like, why you going up the bat for fighters that don't fight? It's just, I'm not exaggerating. You argue about Spence on his behalf. This man has fought once in 2 years, bro. The other one, Charlo, Jamal.
He hasn't fought for 3 practically.
What are you defending, bro? They're right not to fight? Then what the fuck are you watching them for?
It's just like, aren't you bored, bro?
Some real shit. Like, bro,
when
I
you
like
reach that
what happened?
conclusion,
They
you got to
really
expand your horizon as far
Yeah,
as
from
following
who
boxing.
said that? I thought they was just bullshitting about that.
No. I watched Ness's show. That's where I heard it. I watched the Boxing Voice earlier, and he was wilding like, yo. And look, it wouldn't surprise me because, yo, for real though, y'all suckers like that though. Y'all suckers like that. Listen, you don't believe that he could beat Ryan. If you did, why the catch weight? See, this is what you got to pay attention to. If you would have did it at 40, it's less of a strain on Javante. It's less of a strain on Ryan, yeah, but it's less of a strain on Javante. But you willing to strain and you willing to sacrifice to weaken him because you're not confident. I don't care what you say. You're not confident. If you were, you want to go at 40, we'll go at 40. I will fuck you up at 40. I will do you like I did Barrios at 40. 40, 35, whatever. They don't move like that. They move like suckers, for real, though. Like, yeah, y'all suckers, man.
Because, Jules, how you just put it, it's like, sorry to cut you off, but how you just put it, it's like, this fight's to the catch weight and he's reeking right. So even if he was to win, he really doesn't deserve any credit, does he?
I mean, I'm not giving. Look, the only one that I would give credit if he won, and y'all know I don't like him. He's a fucking weirdo. Like, I don't like him. He not. Yo, I'm gonna be real. I don't consider Ryan Latino, bro. I don't know what you are, bro. You like Cameron Diaz to me.
Yo,
yeah, you're not part of the. You're not part of the same group as me and Drew and Pedro Pascal and all the cool Spanish people. Nah, son.
He's two ingredients short of a Cuban sandwich at this point, man.
Bro, like, I was shocked as hell when I found out she was half Cuban.
What? If he win, the only reason I'm giving him props is because of the sacrifices. You had to sacrifice.
You have to respect.
Yes.
You have to respect. Like, you could have told him, man, what you mean 136? Won't you suck my dick 136?
You kind of have to respect him for taking this fight like this. So.
I respect that you did that. And if it work out, cool. If it don't, I am going to laugh at you.
No.
Nah, he's gonna win.
But you're gonna laugh even harder.
Even if he loses,
I believe he wins.
Respect him for it, though.
I fuck with Julio's predictions. I don't want to make one. This is why. I don't want nobody saying, "Oh, you picked it." I'm not a fan of either of these motherfuckers. You understand that? I fuck with Devin and Shakur. That's who I fuck with. I don't fuck with none of these guys. I don't fuck with them. So I don't want to pick one. And then, you picked him to win. You're like, no, bro. I don't
Jules, can you say who's going to win in the private chat? Well, fellas, word is bond.
Man.
Do not tell anybody what he says, all right? Keep that shit to yourself.
Give me a minute, man. Give me a minute.
All right. We know you,
man. This is one of the things. Ryan has all the tools to win. There are some things that you can't do nothing about. My thing with Ryan is you are not a consummate professional to where I've seen you stick to a game plan and it worked. For this fight, to beat this little butterball, you got to stick to a game plan. It's not complex, but you need focus and stick to it. You need to know where you are and where he is, and you need to keep it that way behind the jab. Now, you can't throw the jab the same way because he'll time it. So you have to change the cadence of the jab. But the whole time, you half step back, half step to the side, half step to the side. Keep that jab in his face. Feint the jab, pop him with the right, get back on the jab. 1-2-1, get back on the jab. You keep that jab in his face long enough that he starts to get frustrated. Julio took the screenshot of what I'm talking about. Javante's not going to get taller. If you frustrate him enough, he will lunge. If he lunges and leans over his lead foot, left hook, he's out. But
right. Also a straight right.
Not because he's the right is normal, yeah, if you are level, but he's little. If you throw that straight right and he gets under it, you're in trouble. The left is better because he has to come to you and all you got to do is check him. If you try for that right and you miss, that's your ass.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust Ryan because that takes a kind of focus that I don't even know if he has. You got to stay. Listen, it's two things: your jab and your motherfucking feet. Now, you got a good jab, got good speed. I don't like them feet. I don't like them feet. His feet be looking weird. And your feet, very important. And they're very important because he is a little fat bitch. He don't get inside unless you let him. and you got to mind your feet. You got to keep moving. Got to keep moving. Not scared moving. Don't go way out there and he got to find you. You stay with him, but maintain that pocket. The way you do that is with the jab. But you can't shoot it the same way every single time. You have to change it. Some of them is going to be hard jabs. Some of them might be, as my man Mario Guzman likes to put it, fluff jabs. Fat bitch. Fat bitch. Bah! Fat bitch. Fat bitch. Bah! Fat bitch. Bitch. Bah! Bah!
He used to
Sheldon
reach a
says
bench.
that
He used to reach
Ryan
a bench in
doesn't
the
have
fight,
the
right?
IQ to pull that off.
Thank you, country. Because that's what I'm like, yo, dude, who trusts him to have the ring savvy to stay on a plan?
Well, he kind of did that with Fortuna.
It's Fortuna, bro.
So that's experience. So I mean,
but it's and he is a southpaw. I get it, but Fortuna don't do that. See, Davis does this shit, and that's why I'm like, he do this shit.
How many?
He do this shit where he alternate the guard while he coming forward, and he creep, and he change levels while he do it. And I don't know that Ryan has an answer for that. I think if Devontae do that, you know what this dumbass is gonna do? He's gonna fucking panic. He's gonna shoot the right, and he's gonna get fucking counted.
Another thing is I don't think Ryan had, like you said, obviously we don't know if he has the IQ to pull it off because that's a glaring issue. Like against Luke Campbell, it's also his legs. Like he doesn't know how to establish distance well against southpaw. And against Luke Campbell, he fucking showed that. Like, he just couldn't get that fucking foot placement right, and it took him a couple rounds to get it down. And also, Ryan cannot move laterally. It's either forwards or backwards in straight lines. Yeah. But that's still enough, I think. Like, the only reason I'm picking Ryan is because, bro, people are making Tank out to be like he's Pernell Whitaker or some shit. Like, this dude gets hit a lot.
Ryan, you said it yourself. Ryan don't cut angles.
Huh? Yeah, but Rolly's jab gave Tank a lot of trouble. So, I mean, Ryan's got a better jab than
Bro, and it was the jab off the 2. It was the 2-1. Like, Boxing Gems did a video of it, and it's clear as day, bro. Tank does get hit with 2-1s a lot. Like, he'll catch that power shot, but if you follow up, he has nothing for you.
I honestly believe.
Would you say that Ryan's right hand is as strong as his left hook? Because I think his best punch is the left hook.
His left hook.
I agree. It's only.
I honestly believe if the fight goes to the later rounds, it's more dangerous for Ryan. To be honest.
Nah, I disagree.
Do you feel him throwing that lead straight, that lead right?
See, I think he should throw the left to the body because either he'll catch Tank in the body and he's open. And because he's southpaw, his liver's facing Ryan. It's close to that left hook. But also, like I pointed out and like you pointed out, the motherfucker Tank likes to lunge. So if he shoots it there, he might either catch him in the temple or in the body. And I think that he can hurt him.
I think to beat for Ryan, because of how he's built, that's one of those fights where you got to condition the guy. Gervonta is going into this fight mindful of your left hook. So you could try for the right, but it's got to be a decoy. Don't commit to the right. Throw it like Anthony throws it. Make it short. You're not trying to hit him with it. You're trying to get him to mind the right. While he's minding the right, you dig in with the left to the body.
That's what he did with Fortuna. That's exactly what he did with Fortuna.
But is Fortuna like Davis? Look, I don't like that fat little bitch, but he's a smarter fighter than Ryan.
He is.
That he is.
Yep. Like, I'll say this. I trust Tank's timing more than I do Ryan's hand speed.
Yep.
What Leo think? Leo, what do you think?
And what's the saying? Timing.
Let's go to Leo and Sheila. Yeah, I need some Leo. Leo, what do you think, man?
Leo, what you think?
I'm gonna say it like this, guys. Gervonta Davis was a champion at super featherweight. Not according to me, according to Ring IQ Boxing Talks. He defeated Leo Santa Cruz. He was ranked as a pound for pound fighter. So based on that, dude, you cannot lose this fight. You cannot even look bad against this guy who has done absolutely nothing in the sport of boxing. It's nothing more than a prospect. He has done nothing at lightweight, and you're fighting at super lightweight. He has done nothing but fighting guys from super featherweight. So what the fuck are we talking about? I would really want to try to give these guys a chance. If Gervonta Davis wins the celebrity boxing match, because that is what this is. It's a celebrity boxing match.
That is
Yeah.
what
Okay,
it is.
Really?
you did what you're supposed to do. But if Ryan Garcia beats you, you're done. You are nothing. You maybe were
You think that-
something at super featherweight. You are nothing at lightweight. You are absolutely nothing at super lightweight.
If Ryan wins this fight, I'll say this: it would be better for boxing if Ryan won,
Yes.
because he can bring corporate sponsor. And I don't like him. I'm just being honest. He's got a Gatorade endorsement. You know, he's a little fucking jackass. He does his stupid little TikTok videos. He's a queef. He's a fucking queef.
Which let me ask you: is this his crossover fight? More or less, pretty much. Do you see this as a
Ryan?
If he won?
If he
Hey,
won,
Will's got a super chat for you, Jules.
it definitely would be.
Hey, let me read the super chats. D-Style says HBO let go of boxing because ATT took over, saw no value in keeping it. That could happen with Paramount if they absorb Showtime. No value in keeping it. Will says, I think you're underestimating Joe Goosen, Jules. He knows what he's doing with Ryan, yeah, but does Ryan know what he's doing? I trust Joe Goosen to beat Gervonta Davis.
That's Denim Joe.
Right. The homie Ricky
Joe
says if Mario can outbox Tank, so can Ryan. Ryan.
Where you guys are right is if he wins, he crosses over, but it also you're not gonna like the diva he turns in because he's gonna immediately try to get out of Golden Boy.
Oh, yeah.
Want more money from this. It's gonna turn. It's gonna make it worse, y'all.
You know what's gonna happen?
Was bad.
He's gonna put peroxide in his hair. His nipples are gonna start glowing. He's gonna start, man.
Yeah, you know, because Ryan signed with Ari Emanuel's agency.
Oh,
and
my.
I'm telling you, if Ryan wins, he might just skip out and start going to do movies and doing other shit.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
that's the
mind
other.
that.
No. Being realistic. See, this is the other thing that this is real. This is facts, right? If Ryan wins, he already had the money fight or the biggest money fight that he could have had at or around these weights. So who is he gonna stick around to fight after that? Regis Prograis? No, bro, he died. You will die. Matthias, die. You're not gonna outbox Sandor Martin. You're not gonna outbox Jack Casserole. You got
Jules,
Casserole.
you know, I was on a space with Boxing Gyms the other night, and I came across a Ryan fanboy who said that Ryan would knock out Regis.
Who said that?
Some fanboy for Ryan on Boxing Gyms Live.
Man, listen.
I don't know why.
A lot of
Tank
people
or
actually-
Ryan would go to 140. There's too much smoke up there.
Look, man, I'm just. It is like Drew says though that if he wins, he's gonna get Michael B. Jordan. They're gonna do a movie about it. Tisa Thompson, she's only gonna show one of her titties in the movie.
Y'all laughing, but
He's gonna play the main antagonist in Creed 4.
there's
Watch.
a lot riding on Ryan. Ryan said he wants to be done by 27. Remember?
Yeah, like, bro, do you think do you honestly look at Ryan and see longevity? No, you don't have. See, even to be a gatekeeper, which is why these guys deserve a lot of props. It takes strength to lose and then get back out there. It takes real strength. Some guys lose, they're never the same. Some guys lose, it's like nothing happened. Like, man, fuck that shit, man. Time to fight, motherfucker. It's time to get money.
Tommy Hearns is an example of that.
You know what I'm saying?
Derek Chisora.
I don't see that on him. I think that if Gervonta hits him in the right place, he will just disintegrate into hot pockets. Like, it'll be nothing but hot pockets in the ring. All over the ring.
If Tank loses, I don't think we'll ever see him ever again. I swear to God.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. If he lose, bro, yo.
Do you think the judges will let him? I don't know if the judges will let him lose.
I'll be on Twitter all day talking shit.
I might not sleep that night, bro.
Jules, you gotta go out streaking. You gotta go out streaking.
If he, if Ryan hit him with a TikTok punch, the TikTok punch.
Pow. But you know what I'm happy for?
Pow.
It is not when when Gervonta Davis loses, when he lost, because he's gonna lose. Gervonta Davis is gonna lose eventually. He's gonna become the next Adrian Broner.
Yes, he will. He will. He will. He's gonna he's still gonna be wearing jackets. You know, like 5 years from now, he's gonna be wearing jackets that he's wearing now and shit.
Yeah, and more importantly, he's gonna lose every fight he's supposed to win.
Yeah, And he's going to talk about the glory days. Like, you remember when I knocked out Cuellar?
But he's not doing that.
meanwhile, Ryan will be doing Claire out. Ryan will be doing.
Oh shit, bro! That's another thing. Like, if you follow the trajectory of their careers,
meanwhile, Ryan will be doing Claire out commercials and shit.
Like, if you follow the trajectory of their careers, Ryan is actually stepping up at the right time. Believe it or not, like Tank stepped up against Petraza, and it's been nothing but steps back since.
Yeah,
like,
he hasn't fought nobody since the
That was
Petraza.
20.
I mean, like, why? I mean, why? I don't know why. Just to this, I just can't understand why they wouldn't let him fight Tevin Farmer. Like he. I mean,
yeah.
Oh, and I son that Checkmate boxing guy. He tried to tell me that they didn't offer him the $7 million for the Tevin Farmer fight. That guy's an idiot.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Bro, check like that dude. Like, listen, that I wouldn't even bother with that dude because it's like, bro,
hamming me, man.
Yeah, like that's what I know that you like something wrong with you behind that camera. Like, something wrong. I know. I could tell because I used to have to watch guys like you and make sure you didn't hang yourself. Like I know, bro. It's gonna be out. Tank ain't shit. And when he loses, man, just take the shoelaces away from this guy.
One thing,
he's gonna be going live from a padded room.
At least if Tank doesn't lose, at least we're getting rid of Spence this year.
I mean, like honestly, when you look at like the annals of the history of like people losing, it's usually the guys we don't see coming. Let's be real.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, he could look, like this is why I don't want to pick. I'm not a fan of either of them. I don't want nobody bothering me. But being real, he could lose this Saturday because the same caution that I had for Joe, that like, oh, I said it's not a foregone conclusion that Joe wins. I'm picking him, but yeah, he could lose. I feel that now they're like, yo, Gervonta could lose though, because the first couple of rounds, he's quick. You got to get his timing down because he's quick, this kid. He is fast.
Dangerous. Yep.
And Rolly was giving you problems, bro.
And you're little and fat. Right? You're butterball. You unless he, which is why I don't trust Ryan. Unless he's just an absolute dickhead, you don't get close to him unless he lets you. You don't get close to him. And if he's got a great trainer, I love Joe Goosen, I love the denim. He looks like Peter Cetera in a different parallel universe from a long time ago, right? But he can't fight the fight for you, though. You know? Can't fight the fight for you. Like, I'd pick Joe Goosen to outbox Gervonta Davis before Ryan. Yeah, because you'll do something dumb, bro. What Gervonta does, guys will start having success and get overzealous. Instead of, maintain, B. Maintain. Don't try for big shots. If you've been touching him with the jab, just keep touching him with the jab. You know what I mean? Break him down because he's not used to getting broken down. Break him down.
See, but at the same time, I feel like if he's overly cautious like that, like if he tries to box for 12 rounds just off the jab, I feel like Gervonta is going to end up timing him or like setting up a trap because I just don't trust Ryan's boxing brain. Like he isn't good at making adjustments, honestly. Like he does a lot of shit wrong. He gets away with a lot of shit. But at the same time, so does fucking Tank. Like, where's this shit coming from that he's this generational talent? He's not.
Like, no, he's not. Like, look, man.
That's why I love Julio.
He comes from.
I think. Can I say this? I think that Tank is Teofimo fighting with the other hand.
Talk about it.
The only difference, the glaring difference is the range of motion. Teofimo is an ambush fighter. Pop, pop. Tank is a little slower. Not bad, but slower. But y'all got the same shit going on. Y'all both rolling punches off the shoulder, waiting to bring something over, waiting for a counter shot. Y'all both doing that. Neither one of you is all that good with the jab. Tank ain't prolific with the jab. His jab ain't shit. Like, his jab ain't shit. That's why you get out jabbed, because your jab ain't shit. You got to wait for them to open up to hit him hard. But other than that, Hector's jab was better than his. Hector was popping him with that jab.
Tank throws about the average amount of punches a heavyweight throws per round. The only thing I can give Tio over Tank is I've seen Tio hit guys flush and fold them. Tank's knockouts come from the counter that they don't see coming. when Tank was hitting.
Well, I mean, he didn't like to me. That wasn't even a knockout in the Hector Garcia fight. I don't know what that bullshit.
Well, that's what I've been saying for a while. Is that Tank really
like
isn't that huge punch at 135?
No, he's not. When Tank was hitting, when Gamboa was getting hit flush, but was able to see them coming, he took them. And that's Gamboa.
And look, Rolly stood up. Rolly still got on his feet. When he was fucking cold clocking people at 130, though. I'll give him that. But...
No, 130, yeah, but think about the 135. Gamboa made it to the 12th before it got stopped. Isaac didn't get knocked out. Motherfucking Hector, you didn't knock out Hector. The rap, I mean, like you know what I mean? That you didn't cold knock him out. I'm not trying to take it because a knockout is a knockout, but I'm saying that your power is what I'm looking at. Like, it don't look like what they say it is. Like, nah, like you're not doing the guys at 35 what you was doing the guys at 30. You're not. Like, you lost something on the way up. You know what I mean? With the exception of Rolly, but Rolly's trash. I'm not gonna pretend that he's not trash. That dude is garbage. But then again, Ryan don't take the best punch.
No. That was one knockdown, to be fair. It was a fast knockdown, to be fair.
I mean, but he still got decked by a guy who's not known for being a big puncher himself.
Yeah, bro.
It was a good shot, though. I'm not a Ryan fan. I'm just saying.
I'm not a fan of him neither, bro. He's good. Look, if he wins, he's gonna paint all his nails and his toes and be weird.
Bro, I hope he blows weight. I hope he blows weight on Saturday. What about you?
If Ryan wins, you know who he's gonna pull up with at the red carpet? The new girl from Wednesday Addams. That's going to be his new girlfriend.
Jenna Ortega?
Yeah, I'm hating because he's going to pull her, Jules.
Hopefully, shit. Get that Wednesday action, bro.
No, but speaking about the weight, I'm not going to lie. I don't like looking too deep into shit, like, you know, press conferences and shit like that, but he does look dry. Like, you can see his fucking cheekbones.
That's why I wanted to blow weight, Julio. I hope he blows weight on Saturday.
And he seems lethargic. Like, you listen to him talk, like, that shit looks like it's getting.
He was about to throw up. You didn't see the shit where he gagged?
Well, I don't think.
Bro, look at his eyes. One of his eyes is like extra lazy this week. Extra lazy.
Bro, he probably gonna get knocked out, bro.
He's most likely gonna get
blow weight, Ryan. Blow the weight. Pay the fine.
This is a chicken shit fight because, you know,
for real. Like, he probably gonna like. If you just logical and you don't care, like, I don't care who wins, which is kind of where I'm at. I guess the smart pick would be Davis. I just don't want to stick to that because, look, honestly, I don't care who wins. Even though the smart pick is Davis, I would laugh if Ryan won because you're not supposed to lose to Ryan.
Julius, what scenario?
Full disclosure, I'm a Tank hater, straight up. I don't like Tank. Fuck him.
Like, Julius, what scenario would you laugh harder? If Ryan loses or if Gervonta loses?
No, if Gervonta loses, because even look with Ryan, I know what Ryan is, and I don't have any illusions about him. And most people don't have illusions about Ryan. Like, no, they don't. Most people know he's not pound for pound. Most people like, nah, no way. But with Gervonta, like, man, if you don't get the fuck out my face, this bullshit.
It's crazy. You're fighting this guy, Ryan Garcia, at super lightweight. Ryan Garcia hasn't fought a guy at super lightweight. He hasn't fought a super lightweight yet.
He hasn't. He fought Fortuna from 35 and to go from 35.
He's bringing guys up.
That's just this corny ass fight. To me, they're just two cornballs, bro. Like, y'all not men, bro. Now, Devin and Loma, that's the man fight. That's the man fight. Get it on out here. We about to get down out here. That's the man fight.
Get down.
And nobody's gonna fight this good guy for a long time.
Shakur's too good, but that's why Shakur gonna earn his stripes, because he gonna have to take the dangerous fights. He gonna earn his stripes.
Yeah, he gets the WBC, but then
they're gonna try to wait him out like Crawford.
Wait, none of the belts
fight him
if they make it though.
The top rank give it Shakur versus Jermaine Ortiz.
No. See, this is what'll save Shakur that Crawford didn't have working for him. The PBC don't have a stronghold at 35 or 40. They got two guys at 35, and they two nobodies: Isaac Cruz and Skank Martin. Frank Martin. That's who they have. Frankenberger. And that dude is 35 years old, bro.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he ain't.
Dude is 35. He a 35-year-old prospect.
Wait,
bro.
Is he actually 35?
Nah, but he damn near 30.
I was about to say,
like,
man, shit, he ain't
he's
that old.
30. I'm pretty sure he's 30.
Man,
Well,
that's that
dude,
That's
whoa.
that Cuban school of aging, man.
Now, but fellas, can we get Shakur versus Jermaine Ortiz, please?
We probably
get that?
will. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
Can we get that?
Listen. Have it on good authority. They're working on it.
What?
They're
You
working.
lying?
I'm not lying. They're
Yeah,
working.
no tune-up for Jermaine.
Woo!
Also,
No,
have some
that's a great
inside-
fight, y'all. That's
I
a-
have
Hell
some
yeah.
other inside intel. This past Monday, my man, Regis Prograrius, had a meeting with Bob. Likes the money. He said the money's good. It's not good, but it's good. And he had that meeting this past Monday.
I hope he goes to.
Oh, the whole play.
That's
yes,
honestly
please.
that's a better choice than Matcham, to be honest.
Yes.
And you know what I heard?
I don't care where he
followed
goes.
You know what
Shit.
I heard following that meeting? Jose Ramirez tried to buy himself out his Top Rank deal.
Bro, I heard Jose was I heard Jose.
Wait, are you
Wait,
serious?
listen, this is what I heard. This is what they told me. They told me the whole time Regis was in that meeting, right? Jose was on the roof waiting for them to sign. So,
Hilarious, bro. Yo, he came back like, yo, is he gone?
Yeah,
shit,
they were,
Tio was up there too.
they were playing the Mission Impossible music and everything, man.
Yeah, no, he's wearing a lampshade over his head, trying to fit in, like trying to blend in.
But shit, all I'm saying is he had a meeting, Hurricane. That's all I'm saying. I have it on very good authority.
Let's
He
go.
Let's get it.
He met with Bob this past Monday, but nothing official. Nothing is signed.
He should sign that. I think they'll feed him Josh or the winner.
Yeah, but if T.O. beat Josh, like I'm gonna ask you, Michael.
Not happening, bro. Like I'm telling
Nope.
T.O. not gonna fight him, bro. They not dumb over there, bro.
Bro, did you hear what his dad said?
What he said?
So his dad was like, you know, we originally were aiming for Regis, like we're pushing for the Regis fight, but then we saw that Josh Taylor got hurt. We were like, okay, now is the right time to fight him.
but
Like, he was flat
tell you
out
what
honest,
they'll do,
flat out
Jules.
honest about it. Like, yeah, we're fighting Josh because he's coming off injury, and it's the right time.
I'll tell you what they'll do. They'll do if Teal wins, they'll do Devin Haney and Lopez.
Yeah, that's what they'll do.
And then the winner can fight Regis.
See, but I don't know about that.
No, the winner won't fight
It
Regis.
sounds like Devin wants to leave.
No. See, let me break it down to you. This is why I still want him to go to Matchroom. Where we over here, we all agree that T.O.'s not likely to fight him, right? If he beats Josh, he's still not likely to fight him. Devin, who knows what Devin is about to do, because who knows what's about to happen with Loma. Whereas if Regis went to Matchroom, I would be confident we're going to get that Catterall fight, and we could get a Stevie Sparks fight. We could get a Liam Botto fight. Those are not the profile of fights as Lopez, but what's the profile of a fight that isn't going to happen? It's not going to happen. But at Matchroom, oh, yeah, we get that Catterall fight. We could get that. Yeah, I like that. And maybe you build him up to a Hitchardson-Richards. Maybe he could fight Hitchardson. Those are all good fights.
Yeah, like, bro, I'm saying like Top Rank's 140 roster is really not that deep, honestly. Like, it's if you want to say, okay, so it's one guy who's scared of Regis, Jose, another guy who's not going to fight him, Teofimo, and then Josh Taylor, who's like, we don't know what's up with him right now. But that's really it.
Where look at big old Stevie Sparks from Australia. That dude is huge for 140. That dude looked like a goddamn welterweight. Yeah, I could go for that, him versus Regis, bro. And the shit is that with those fights, I know they would happen. Catterall, Sparks, Hitchardson, Richards, all them guys. I know it would happen. With these guys, I don't see T.O. fighting this man under any circumstance. He will not fight this man. They not dumb over there. Bro, you done been put on your ass by Cambo and Martin. You don't want to let this guy hit you. If he hits you, you going to look like your father.
Andor Frank Martin.
Close the picture.
Do you think Devin's going to leave?
You're going to be on the ground yelling, Kimbosos!
Bro, look at his father face. Look at his father face. That's how he's going to look when he get hit. Like, nah.
You think Devin's going to leave Top Rank? Because they're talking weird, man. I'm not going to lie.
The shit... There's two reasons they could be talking like that, though. Leverage tactics. We don't really want to leave. We know that there's a good fight here that we could have, but we going to act like that so you give us a good offer.
Because they're talking about, we're free now. Like, on those, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
free.
but free. Think about this shit, bro. Regis can handle a lot of that shit that I just mentioned. It is not a foregone conclusion that Devin can. Now, I would pick Devin to beat Liam Pato. I would pick Devin to. I don't know. But Jack, it's a close fight, but
Think he beat Stevie Sparks too. Think he beat him.
That's the thing. I was gonna say Stevie, but he's a big retard, bro. That dude is not there to box.
Yeah.
He's like a smarter.
No, because Montana tried to box him, and we saw what happened. So damn, you're right. You
that dude is not there to, but he there to fuck you up. Like he's
like if Rolly could play Sudoku. Like he's a smarter version.
He took Montana's lunch money, dude. I wouldn't want to fuck.
He took Montana's love. It's Montana hate now. I hate like he fucked me up. I had to throw him out the ring. He's fucking me up. Cut me.
Also, I think Richardson Hitchens could beat him, honestly.
Yeah, I like that Hitchens kid, man. I really like that kid. And I would prefer that Regis go there because it's a regular schedule of fights. I know they'll get the guy out there. I know they'll keep him busy. With Top Rank, bro, a lot of this shit we talking about is maybe Jose will fight him. Maybe. Like, man, nah, son. Sounds good, but nah, son. Like, think about it. He goes over there, he signs. And what, T.O.'s going to fight him next? No, he's going to wait him out. He's going to wait till he starts looking human or some shit. Ah, man. Them dudes ain't trying to fight. And Rolly, oh, my God, if he gets that belt. And he probably is. Ridiculous.
Hey, Jules, Irish Philly Drew's backstage wanting to get in if he's not on yet.
Yeah, but I'm about to shut it down, bro.
Oh, okay.
On that note, gentlemen, I'm thinking about going live twice on Saturday for the Rakamov and obviously for the Pee Wee football fight. Probably gonna go live twice.
Do it.
No, I got Cordina. I got Cordina by way of knockout. I think he's gonna set him up real nice because Rakamov fights the same way in every fight.
That's gonna be a good fucking fight.
That's good. But the fight I really like is Bobic and
DAZN.
That's what I'm saying.
I know somebody gonna get knocked out. I just don't know who. Like, yeah, you could say Bobic, you could say, but it's like, bro, you be getting hit.
That's a prehistoric fight, like two cavemen.
Bro, I love that fight. That's the retard shit, bro. That's like if you put two retards and you put book bags on both of them full of water. Mess, bro. It's a whole mess.
But Jules, this marks Sandy Ryan's move up to welter, right, for this fight?
Who?
Sandy Ryan. She's gonna be on the undercard.
Yeah. She's probably gonna knock old girl out. If you
apparently the fight with McCaskill's already signed. If she wins, that's what's next.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's not signed, but I've been said that's the plan, bro. Like I said that a month ago because Rick. Well, I can say it now. That's the plan, bro. That's the plan. That's been the plan. Not initially when whatchamacallit first won the purse bid. I forgot what promotional outfit that was, Habazin's promoter or whatever. But after they defaulted and the rights went to Matchroom, that was the plan. If you beat Habazin, and she's gonna fuck her up. Jessica's gonna fuck her up. And Sandy, I'm starting to feel confident she's gonna knock this broad out. Sandy's gonna knock this broad out.
What belt was on the line for that fight? WBO?
BO.
How did Jessica lose that? Did she get stripped? Or
it's part of the deal. It's part of the deal.
Okay.
Drop the BO, make it available for Sandy, then you can fight her for it. I'm saying that now because I could say that now, but I've known that for a month.
She's got the rest of the titles, right? She still got the other three.
Well, one of them is vacant, but it's gonna be on the line in the Habazin fight, so it's like it's not vacant. You see what I mean? Like, I think it's either the BF or the BC. One of them is vacant, but it don't matter because it's on the line in the fight anyway. So, you know what I mean? And that's part of the deal. She had to drop the BO, make it available for Sandy. Let Sandy fight for it. We do a 2-fight deal where if you win, you fight her.
And what about the BF for the other belt? Just saying.
All them, the other three shits is on the line too.
Any other fight news?
Let me think. What was the last shit I heard? What was the last? Nah, I said all the shit I heard this week.
Baumgartner? Nothing on Baumgartner?
Oh, Baum? What did they tell me about? They gave me three. Someone close to the information gave me three names. One was let me look at the names because it's not who I thought it was.
What's going on with Sonny? Do you know anything about Sonny?
I don't know nothing about Sonny, but I'll hit him up. I got his motherfucking WhatsApp. Let me see. What is the names that they gave me? That was.
Man, y'all had me rolling when you told me he was trying to get
Gutierrez. Gutierrez. Miriam Gutierrez that fought Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor. Karen Corobahol and Jennifer Hahn. That's the names that they gave me last week.
What's the second person you said?
The second is Miriam Gutierrez, Karen Carbajal. That's an Argentine. Out of those three names, that's the most solid fighter.
Carbajal would be a great fight.
Yeah,
Carbajal would be a great fight. But I saw something that makes me think Heather Hardy might get the fight. Heather said some shit. Blessed. Some shit like she just got some good news or some type of shit. So I'm wondering if they offered her to fight.
Yeah, I hit her up. That's why. But that would be a great fight in New York on that Berlanga undercard.
That's the thing. From what I saw, it ain't the Berlanga undercard. So I don't know. She's not on that card, bro. At least not to my knowledge. So,
yo, Jules.
Yo,
Katie's gonna lose that fight, bro.
Probably.
Oh,
you're gonna lose that shit, bro.
See, man, I can see it happening, but I just feel like Katie's gonna be a lot faster.
Nah, her feet have slowed down to me.
Well, she's an old lady now.
Yeah,
she's about to be 37.
Nah, this the shit. This the shit. I see two things. I see how Katie could lose, and I see how she could win. Even though Chantel combinations are better, they're slower. Her punches are wider than Katie's, even though I like her combinations more than Katie's because they're fluid. She goes upstairs, she goes downstairs, she throws hooks, she throws uppercuts, she throws body shots. I like her combinations way better than Katie's. You still don't look faster than Katie, though. Even now, because I watched Katie's last shit and I watched Chantel's last shit. I'm like, hey, you still slower than her, though. And you get heavy in between fights. Katie.
Who, Chantel?
Hell yeah.
But
nice.
Her volume.
I dig it.
That's why I feel we'll win her this fight.
We'll see. I don't rule out the possibility that Chantel wins, though. This is not a.
So you're picking Katie then?
No, I haven't decided yet.
Bro, no disrespect to Clarissa, but if Katie wins, she's the GOAT. Like, bro, look at her resume.
Yeah.
Bro,
multiple undisputed champions she's beaten.
I feel like this thing with look, man, I'm being real. They throwing Clarissa pity parties out here. Pity party. Like, how you the GOAT with 13 fights? How?
Bro, we don't have wins. She'll have wins over the undisputed champion at light welterweight, and featherweight.
I'm just saying that even where it's at right now, like, that's not hate, fam. Y'all debuted the same year. She has 22 fights. You have 13. She's moving up to fight an undisputed champion. You about to fight a girl you beat already 4 years ago. That's old.
Nah. Who wants to see that again, really, honestly? I'm not even trying to hate.
You can't compare. That's what I mean. That, like, when I say this, people going to think it's not hate, bro. I would do this to anybody's resume. Any two fighters. I'm like, bro, who did you beat that was better than Amanda Serrano? Who? Savannah Marshall ain't no Amanda Serrano.
No.
Hannah Gabriels ain't no Amanda Serrano. Nobody you beat is fucking with that one win. And that's just one. If I'm real, nobody you beat is better than Delphine Pursoon. Nah, you bugging. People been running from that woman for years.
Katie fought her twice.
And they'll say, they'll bring up, oh, it was close. Yeah, because her quality of competition is better. It is better. Head and shoulders better. That don't mean Clarissa's bad at all. She's still one of the best in the world. I'm just telling you that your resume is not fucking with Katie's. At all. How? She has 22 fights. You have 13. Y'all debuted the same year. She moved up in weight to become a 2-division champion. You moved down. You're fighting smaller people. It's not the same thing. Now look, she moving up for Chantel. Just like Julio said, if she win, what the fuck can we compare that to?
Also, she has a win over the current unified light middleweight champion too. That's fucking insane.
Natasha Jonas went on to become the Ring Magazine and Lineal Unified Junior Middle. Jessica McCaskill went on to become Undisputed. It's like, bro, so what I see is, so y'all just throwing pity parties then, because this is not comparable. How is this comparable? How? This what Clarissa about to do would be like if Katie fucking went back and fought Anaís Sanchez or some shit. Like, the fuck you doing that for? Why? If Katie had it her way, if things didn't mess up, she would either be fighting Amanda again or something like that. And look at what she doing. She fighting Chantel. That's not an easy, like, that shit is not easy.
That's not easy at all.
Fuck around and lose that shit, bro. At home in Ireland. You fighting the girl you beat already. It's not the same thing, man.
Question: what do you guys think Katie should do? Like, if win or lose, chance of the camera, I think she should rematch Amanda then retire. What do y'all think?
Honestly, if it's up to me, and it's not, but if it were, this is it. Retire.
This is it? This fight right here, this is it?
Retire.
Win or lose? Okay, got you.
Because, and I'm going to say this, and people not going to like it, Alicia beats her. It's as simple as that.
Mm-hmm. She's coming.
You talk about...
What about Amanda?
There's a chance.
Amanda could win.
This is Amanda's chance. If Amanda learned from the first fight, Katie's legs costed you the fight. Her legs. Once her legs got back under her after she was hurt and she started moving around again in boxing, that's when the fight got away from Amanda. So if Amanda learned from the first fight, go to the body. She could take the head punches. Go to the body. Take her legs away. If she don't have her legs, she don't have nothing to bail her out when you punch her in the face. That's how Katie be winning these fights with these girls that hit mad harder than her. Like Lenarda 2. Lenarda 2 gave her a big-ass hematoma. What she did with her? Move around. What she did with Jessica? Move around. What she did with Amanda? Move around. That's what gets her out of trouble. If she feels the power and she get hurt, she'll get on her bike. So if you learned from the first fight, go to the body. Because nobody seems to go to Katie's body. Nobody. Everybody tries to punch her in the face. She could take the face punches, man, in case y'all haven't figured that out yet.
And Amanda's she's an accomplished body puncher, Amanda. Shit.
I'd love to see Amanda get another check, though. So I hope it happens regardless.
I love Amanda, man. But also, I see they trying to come for my homegirl. They trying to come for her. Raven Chapman won her. Sky Nicholson won her.
Oh, yeah.
Her division is deep, man. Like,
I'm too worried about Sky, bro. She ain't.
Bro, see, the thing is, I think she'd probably beat Amanda with her current style, but that shit is so fucking boring, bro. Like,
but I'm gonna thank you. Julio knows that her style is so fucking boring. But here's the thing. This is the other caveat, Julio. Amanda got two styles. She could be that boxer puncher, but she could be that pressure fighter. And if she put the pressure on Sky, she will knock her the fuck out. That girl from Spain that was terrible had her under pressure. And she was fucking terrible.
It's just every fight
like Scott couldn't keep, as limited as she was, Scott couldn't really keep her off. Really.
Thank you.
Because she don't want to fight on the inside, bro. It's every fight is 10 rounds of her jabbing, check hook, and then pivot off of it. Like, and then she's holding the fucking Jordan trophy crying after the fight. And I'm just like, bro, do something else. Like, this shit is kind of lame.
This fight that she's about to have, and I'm more patient with her than a lot of people. Maybe I am, but it's because the girl's only been fighting as a pro for a year. So I'm like, bro, what are we expecting, bro? The fight she's about to have with the fighter that she's about to fight, we'll see if she can step into her jab and be spiteful. If she don't do that in this fight, bro, I'm like, all right, like I tried, man. I really tried. I really did.
How much fights you got? Like 6, 7?
Like 6 fights.
6, okay.
That's not a lot. Like, to change your whole style up, that's not a lot. So I give her a break. But I do see your logic that if she just stays on her jab, moves around, pivots off the jab, she could, in theory, win. But if Amanda get on her volume shit, you know, if they were to fight now, for example, which they're not, but this is what we're talking about. If they were to fight now, once Amanda get on her volume shit, she'll fuck her up. Because Sky's not put together yet. She got 2 punches, a jab and a hook.
But you know she's still with her amateur coach? That's her problem.
No, for real. I thought it was Eddie Lamb. I didn't know that he was her amateur coach.
He needs to change that shit.
Bro, I don't know too much about him, but I've heard from people in the UK that he actually is a good coach, but I don't know. I feel like maybe she should go to Tony Harrison or something.
Bro.
That would be a bad idea.
Shane's the best coach in the UK right now.
I'll say this. Tony is good for Alicia because Alicia has something that most pure boxers don't have. Power. She's like, most pure boxers don't have power. That's what makes her special. That she's very accurate. So when she lands, it's going to be a power shot, which is why I think she would stop Katie. She's going to land that right hand, and she would fuck around and stop Katie. But most pure boxers don't have power because they're fighting on the balls of their feet. They don't sit on their punches. She has power, which makes her nuanced. That's what makes her nuanced. Not much of a combination puncher, but when she got power, and she's going to land. Katie ain't come up against no pure boxer before. I know that. I've seen her whole career, her whole pro career. She has not fought that style before.
And she's just as fast, honestly.
Hey, Jules, real quick, this is off the subject, but the tickets for like Top Rank for some of the fights, they force you to buy 2 tickets, man.
Yeah, you Top Rank ain't for losers, bro. You got to go there with your bitch.
Damn.
Yeah,
yo.
you have to buy 2 tickets off the bat. You can't buy 1.
Yeah, you gotta find you a nice set of titties to take with you to the fight, bro. Gangsta shit.
Each titty gets a ticket too.
Yeah, each titty. It's gangsta shit. I ain't mad at that. Nah, fuck you think I'm going by myself? I'm going with some titties. Going with titties.
Ass, titties, ass, titties, titties.
I'll holler at you, motherfuckers.
All right, y'all. Have a good night.
All right, man. Have a good night, guys. Hey,